Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone, for episode 347 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about Nerfin, recorded live from western northeast South Dakota. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
And if you're playing along at home on Massenomics podcast bingo and you had a lifting podcast about Nerfin as a square, go ahead and check that one off because we just hit that one.
Hopefully it's close to the free square because then you're on a roll already.
Then you got two in a row already.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for potential Massenomics bingo is in the works now, where you play along at home, and as you hear the popular catchphrases that so often come up on the Massenomics podcast,
Mark
check
your card
them off, and then we'll verify if you get a good bingo.
We'll have to start putting bingo cards in every order so people have those, right?
That
Could be onto something there.
Yeah.
Get that Massenomics bingo dabber
Yeah.
too. That's when you're a veteran of the bingo circus. When you got one of those.
Yeah. That's true. Well, it's Black Friday week, Tommy. It's also Thanksgiving week, but
it is.
What's that about even? It's
Well, I was thinking we probably need to apologize in advance right now because it's World Cup season, and we know that's the only thing you're going to talk about for like the next 3 weeks.
We're gonna
is you get Tanner going on the World Cup,
and I just can't
and
stop.
he can. He just goes on. He saw Ted Lasso, and he doesn't know when to quit.
That's and I did take the tour of the Minnesota United football club.
So you're pretty tight in the industry now.
Yeah, I'm pretty well connected. So yeah, don't even get me. Actually, just let me stop you there. Don't even get me started on it.
That's the safer bet.
It'll just be weeks of me talking about soccer. But
football, I think.
As
you
guys
call
like
it.
me that are into the sport call it.
Yep.
But before we get more into football, first, let me tell you about SPUD Inc. SPUD-Inc-Straps.com. If you're listening to this live, this makes really good sense. Even if you're listening to this not live, when this episode airs on Monday, November 28th, you still have 2 days left of their Yellow Friday sale. SPUD Inc.'s Yellow Friday sale goes from November 23rd to November 30th, and it is their sale of the year. 30% off all SPUD items and equipment with code YELLOW30. 20% off all Tsunami, Comfort, Grip, Barbell Rescue, and AbMat products with code YELLOW20. Plus, their gift to you, all orders over $50 will receive a SPUD Inc. magnet.
Oh.
And all orders $75 or more receive free shipping. So head over to SPUD Inc. between November 23rd and November 30th to capitalize on their biggest sale of the year, 30% off all SPUD items. Discount code YELLOW30. It's not Black Friday anymore. It's Yellow Friday. SPUD-Inc-Straps.com.
All right.
Thank you, SPUD Inc.
I'm also going to tell you a little something about our friends at Texas Power Bars. You've listened to this show before. Tanner, you have.
I certainly
I'm
have.
assuming
I'm familiar.
Most people listening have heard of it before.
Yep.
Some of you might not have heard of it, but there's a little legend on this show, and it's the legend of the Texas Power Bars.
Hello.
Well, we know the story. It's great, but I was just looking here, and not only does the brand have a legendary story, but they have a pretty legendary sale going on right now.
All right,
too.
what's their deals?
Up to $100 off select bars.
Whoa.
The Texas Power Bar Cerakote is $30 off. Blemish Bar, $55 off. Texas Bench Bar, $100 off. They're giving these things away.
Whoa.
Does Buddy Caps want to be in business? So,
wow.
If you're interested,
Those are crazy deals. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah.
I would say, would you say you almost can't afford not to capitalize on those kind
I'm
of
just
deals?
trying to think of who could afford to not buy this.
Yeah, and they also have apparel deals for Black Friday too, where their tees and caps are all on sale. Some of their shirts are like half price even here.
Yeah. So Texas Power Bars. Not only has Buddy Caps been making bars longer than you've been alive, but now you can get a deal on them too.
Yep.
Check out TexasPowerBars.com and get yourself some of your own amazing bars for your gym.
Thank you, Texas Power Bars. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, Tommy. This one's for the boys, right? Because there's no guests in this one, so
No one to reel us in.
no, just the boys.
No
being
time
boys.
constraints.
No, we're on our own schedule, and biggest thing we're probably got to talk about first, though, is our Black Friday drop, right?
It is the most
And
important thing.
if
It's what
for-
we're all here for.
For those listening along live in our Discord crew, you have already gotten the sneak peek, and I see that they're talking about it already. We're wearing a couple of the items just to throw it out there. So maybe we should start with those items.
Yeah. So for maybe I'll go first.
Or should we talk about the deal? I'll start by saying this. Every single order that comes in like Black Friday through Cyber Monday receives a free koozie and free sticker pack with it. That's one of our Black Friday deals. We've done that for a few years. Doing the same again this year. And then also we do have like 12 tees that are all priced down to $12, like the lowest we've ever put on.
We basically
before.
are giving those things
Yeah,
away.
You almost can't afford not to buy them.
It's very mixed sizing because these things are down there, but there is, I believe,
all sizes extra small through 4X.
there is a
exist.
t-shirt exists in some styles. So $12 t-shirts.
And in that sweet spot, there's quite a bit of a large and XLs available. You know,
There
that's
are.
kind of the sweet
Yep.
spot of sizing, and there is not in all the designs, but some of them there is.
Yep, $12 tees. And then of course, everyone's favorite deal, Rich Get Richer discount code 25% off shorts. That is still in effect for Black Friday this year.
Don't sleep on that one. Good call there.
Nope, I'm leading with that.
Discount code Rich Get Richer. Yeah.
So you can take advantage of that still. But if we're going to get through the rundown of everything that's new this year, actually, not everything that's new, everything that's coming out this year, I'm going to start with a classic re-release, and that's what I'm wearing right now, the Huge Life tee. And this has been, I don't know, has it been gone for 2 years? 2.5?
It's been approximately 1 hot minute.
They're going to say 100 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. And this was one of the OG t-shirts. This is one of probably the first 4 designs we ever had, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's the OG t-shirt. You know,
It is.
No. I'm saying the first was the OG, then the Lift, Numero Uno, and Huge Life are in the first 4. I think that would be my first 4 if I was to guess.
Yeah, I believe it too.
Yeah.
So this thing's a classic. It felt really good putting this one on because the one I have is so old, and it's just I've worn it to the gym so many times it's destroyed. So to have this shirt on and just feel like, oh, it looks presentable again, it's very refreshing. I'm glad this one's back.
Someone asked if it's heather gray. It is not.
It's not
heather
heather.
gray. It is blaze gray.
Is that the actual name for it?
No, someone said that. Big Scants just said blaze gray in the Discord. But it is like a true gray,
It's a
right?
true,
A
just solid
gray, which we kind of want. We do a lot of heather colors every once in a while. We think that the solid color tee really pops. So, also important note on this: we debated this. This was a lot of internal discussion on the Huge Life shirt. Because originally, 5-6 years ago, we printed on different tees than we most commonly print on now.
The only relic of that would be the Lift shirt is still on the original blend.
Right. And we were going to convert this over to the new tee, and we said, we're going to stick with the spirit of the Huge Life shirt, and it is printed on the original
recipe
tee that we used for this, just for like sentimental reasons, if nothing else. And one caveat on that, it fits slightly looser than
it's a slightly roomier fit. Yes,
Yeah,
it's slightly. It's just a touch bigger in every way. Slightly
Yeah.
longer. The normal ones we do print on do have a little bit more of a fit to
Yeah.
them. This one is just a looser fit, which is nice too.
It's still material wise, it still has
Yep.
that same light feel, I think, to it. The same light, soft feel. Just a little bit bigger all around. A little more generous proportions, I think. We've had some people specifically say that they like the fit of that, and we have gone back to it for this tee.
Gives you something to grow into.
Yep, that's right.
So that's the first re-release. Tanner, you got a little something on over there.
Oh, what? This hot little number?
Yeah, that little jacket you're wearing there.
Yeah, my new
Look like you're ready
Massenomics
for a
lift coat.
for a night out on the town.
And I do say coat, but for those of you listeners not watching, one man's coat is another man's hooded sweatshirt, like the old saying goes. So this is a new hoodie that we just released. We've never had a lift hoodie out of all the things we've had before.
Amazing, isn't it?
Never a lift hoodie until now. And here we go. It's on there again, solid colored hoodie, navy color, and the giant. It's not the traditional lift,
like
print.
full on logo.
Yeah. It's just big letter lift print, and then the little gold Massenomics across the corner of it.
And then we even upped the hoodies just one more level this time. We have a little extra detail, and we got the Massenomics logo patch sewn onto the pocket.
On the pocket.
Really adds to that premium feel, I think.
I love this little patch.
It's nice.
It's a game changer. Also, we have, the custom sewn in neck labels with the Massenomics good stuff on there, but I really like this little pocket tag.
I do too.
That's cool beans.
Yeah. Navy hoodie. Navy looks good.
Yeah.
A little something different than your traditional black.
And this lift, the size of this lift print really pops, doesn't it?
It certainly does pop.
This will scream right at you.
There's no doubt about that.
Like if you're walking down the street and from a distance, you're like, oh, does that guy lift or not? They're like, yep. He does. I can tell it.
Can't
he
argue
lifts.
with him there.
That guy definitely lifts.
Right on the chest.
Yep. So that's a couple of items. We talked about the tees on sale. We talked about the freebies. Where do you go next on the
another restock?
Yes.
Lift jorts are back in stock.
They're back, baby.
And they literally got into our possession today.
Yep.
We were getting a little worried on this
quite
one.
a bit of kicking and screaming, I might ask.
We were getting a little worried.
Yeah.
But they showed up exactly 24 hours.
Yep. And I have opened them up, laid eyes on them.
And they are, in fact, jorts?
Lift jorts are back.
Okay, I was worried maybe the whole pant would be
No,
the
they're
leg.
not the full-on jeans this time. I'm not going to have to bust out the scissors and cut them all down before they go out. But the lift jorts are back, the same Born Primitive collaborative lift jorts that we had in the past. Exciting thing, though, for any of you big boys out there, though, last time we were limited up to size 2X, which, if I remember right, I wear an XL, and you wear a large.
But, God,
we had
frickin' squats have been going, I might be on an XL now.
Make it we got plenty of room for you to grow, because not only did we get 3X, we got 4X. So we just broke the sizing chart with as big of jorts as we've got.
Actually, we probably need to update the size chart, do we?
Yeah, I think we probably do, because these, I don't know if 3X is even on the chart.
Did we have a size chart on these? Or was that just the 3.0s I'm thinking of?
I wonder if we didn't even make one eventually there.
Maybe we just listed waist sizes.
That could be.
That's where we got it.
Yeah, that could be. I think that's what the size chart is it? Yeah, right here. So it's a size chart of short.
All right,
of
do we have 4X on there?
We have 3X on there.
So I need to get that updated, huh?
I guess. I mean,
unless you just assume, well, I'm not 3X.
Yeah, you're right. Like 3X sounds not big enough for me. So yeah, because 3X is kind of like would that be what they'd call like a 40-inch waist according to that? So if you're like bigger than a 40-inch waist, I guess you're in the potentially in the 4X territory. And
I mean, if you follow the pattern, each size is technically 2 inches. Well,
yeah.
No. Size charts are actually weird, so I'm not going to say this is obvious. Cause
someone asked if we ordered our jorts from Rascal. No, we didn't, because if you remember back, we actually had jorts for sale prior to Rascal.
Yeah, because they didn't exist from them yet, because we were the first to do it. So
we were just busy sitting on the sidelines.
We literally could not order them from them because they didn't exist. We were the first ones to have them in the powerlifting space.
Yeah. We collaborated with the first ones to have them like in the lifting space, and then became the first ones more specifically in the powerlifting space. We were not actually the ones sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what everyone else did. We did it before them.
We were literally on the playing field, just freaking scoring touchdowns.
We changed the game. Thanks, Big Joey. That's the correct nomenclature there, right? We changed the game.
Yeah, we were freaking dunking on people left and right.
So don't tell us that we were sitting waiting on the sidelines, because we were out there. We were doing some crossover dribbles.
We were racking up stats out on the field. We couldn't be sitting on the sidelines.
We were doing between the leg dunks through the field goal posts and kicking goals. Soccer reference.
Just World Cup style out there, baby.
No icing from us. I think that's a penalty in hockey.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. Do you know what
I think
icing
it's like
is?
offsides in soccer, isn't it?
I don't really know how you go offsides in soccer either. Well, to me, soccer just looks like people are running around. So, like, does that mean you can't cross a certain point without having the ball?
Well,
or like the ball can't
I believe
go past
in
a certain
soccer.
point?
Okay, probably sounds so dumb because I think everyone in the world knows the rules of soccer
Not
except
us.
for us.
Yeah.
But I believe in soccer, when you're on offense, you can't, or is it when you're at, I don't even know. So when you're on offense, you can't be like past the deepest defender. So you basically can't be like camping out by the goalie, just waiting for the ball to come your way.
Camping. Like camping.
Yeah, like Call of Duty.
Yeah,
you know?
Call of Duty references. Now I understand.
Yes.
Why didn't you say that earlier? What about what do the noobs do?
That's a good
Freaking
question.
noob. Camping. No camping, noob.
Yep.
What do people still say stuff like that?
I would have.
We also don't know that,
I think
do
there's
we?
more expletives involved
Yeah,
now. I think
right.
that's just what's expected.
Quit gosh darn camping, you silly noob.
You silly goose.
Yeah. What's next on this rundown? Should we talk about the other coat that we've got coming?
Oh yeah. So we have another coat as well.
And by coat, we mean sweatshirt. And this time we mean not hooded sweatshirt.
So, sans hood.
Yeah, this is the crew with the umlaut sweatshirt. This is a crew neck sweatshirt, black in color.
Varsity print.
It's the varsity print in white of our varsity logo, which is the big Massenomics arched in front. And then it's got a big Massenomics M logo on the upper back.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one also on, not in the same spot as
more
the hoodie,
hip,
but
you could say.
yeah, like on the hip has the same
Custom patch sewn on there.
in. And then it's got the custom tag sewn in for the neck label too. I really like that one. A really classic look. That's something
one
we
you
haven't
could-
had yet.
You could wear it to any fine dinner, and people would think you have a really, really respectable sweater on.
For sure. I'm excited about that one a lot. We're both fans of crew neck sweatshirts around here. And
You can dress it up, dress it down, do whatever with it.
that's kind of a nice going out on the town sweatshirt.
If you really needed to take it to another level, you could wear a collared shirt under it so the collar pokes
Ooh.
out and people are like,
That's
this
classy.
Did this guy just leave a business meeting?
Yeah,
I can't even tell right now.
that's classy.
Is he going to go to the gym? There's so many options. It's hard
He's
to tell.
wearing nice shoes and that crew neck sweatshirt. Like he could be going places.
Is he signing multi-million-dollar business deals? I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah.
So we got that.
And we talked about the jorts already.
And we talked about the jorts where...
We got one new tee left and then one other thing.
Okay, yes.
So the other new tee.
New tee.
You were wearing it earlier today.
I was. I worked at the gym, and now it's dirty. I didn't plan that out very well.
Yeah.
But the new tee, weight is a number, heavy is a feeling.
Yeah.
And
if you look in our Instagram story right now today, if you're listening live, you can actually see there's a little clip of you lifting there. If you pay attention closely, you can kind of see the shirt that you're wearing.
And that's probably the most philosophical thing we've ever said behind lift hard, live easy.
So
right?
say it again. The
weight is a number, heavy is a feeling.
It's so true.
True that, huh?
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it?
So
That's deep. Heavy thoughts
that's
right there on a shirt.
That is a text-based tee, and it's pretty minimal. We got the tone-on-tone, the black tee with the dark gray print. So that one's more subtle, but I think it's a cool, different look for us.
It is. I like that one. It's my new favorite, maybe.
And the Sane's nice too.
The saying just hits just right, doesn't it?
So right.
And
So
then the last thing.
Oh, that's right.
The limited edition item of the drop. Only 100. Oh, there. Someone caught the screen grab of you wearing the Big Keith caught that. Last item here, though, is our limited edition item of the drop. And this will be our third year running where we've done a collaboration with our good buddy Travis at Obsidian and Ammonia, our friends to the south in Canada.
Also, can't say we've been sitting on the sidelines on ammonia collaborations either.
Nope. This is our third year of doing this. I'm holding the canister right here. We've been kind of teasing about what the name of this could be. And this year, the scent of the year is Dakota Breeze. So this is nose freshener. I don't know how well this is coming across on camera. If you're only listening,
it's gonna look blurry back there.
Blurry,
So
I gotta get.
it's good, and it's gonna be too small there.
Yeah. So it's tough to see, but Dakota Breeze nose freshener, an unassuming scent as destructive as the winds of the Great Plains.
And it has a very fresh and light feel to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Very innocent look to it.
Helps eliminate lingering laziness. And this year we added something different to these. We only made 100 of them, and they are numbered right on the canister. We use the large canister like we have in the prior years. It's going to come with some free stickers on this, and then the numbered container, 1 through 100. So it'll be a race to see who gets number 1 in here, and also a race to see really who gets the really prized one.
Number 420.
The 69.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
close
oh,
second.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't make enough for
And
420.
it is in the large canister, and you bust it out. And the smaller, more familiar Obsidian ammonia size packaging is right here. And maybe should we take a little sniff on air just to
I guess
if
we
it
could
packs a punch?
see what's going on in there.
Okay. So Dakota Breeze is the scent of this. That's pretty descriptive, right? It's
Very
it smells
descriptive.
like a nice Dakota Breeze. And let me just take a little. I'm just going to take a little whiff of, because it's pretty potent stuff.
It's Obsidian.
And, that being said, this is this is the most potent one that we've made out of our collabs, I guess. Is they spared no expense on the potency here.
So you can verify that there is in fact ammonia in here.
Yeah,
You're not just pranking me, actually. See, I like to keep it.
something in there.
Actually, I do a little different. I keep it way out here, but then I just take the cap and go. Yep, there it is. Yep, still there. Yep, that's how you know it's good.
Oh, that's gonna linger in this room for a while.
That did eliminate any lingering laziness that I had, though.
Smells like a fresh Dakota Breeze, an unassuming scent as destructive as the winds of the Great Plains. Nose freshener. I love this packaging.
Very nice.
Entered the danger zone. So shout out to Obsidian Ammonia. Big Travis helping us out with this, get this going.
Year after year after year,
Yep.
hooking it up.
So I'm excited about that one. But like I said, only 100 made. They are numbered. They will go fast, especially once Black Friday hits. I think that these will go particularly quick. So if you want in on those, do not sleep. Sweatshirts, I don't know that we'll bring, we'll do reruns of any of that.
Yeah, those are very seasonal at best.
The Huge Life shirt, this could just be the one run of that.
It could go back into the vault.
Yeah, it could go back into the vault.
It's like a Groundhog Day. It just pops out of the hole and it goes right back into its little...
The jorts sold out really quickly last time. We did order a few more this time, so I don't know what supplies we'll do on the jorts, but especially if you're after a certain size, this is your time to get it. Because we've got them all right now from small through 4X.
And last time it took us, 3 months to get them reordered?
Yeah.
So, with everything going on, it could be 5 months, 6 months the next time. And then you're well into summer. So get them now so you're prepared for summer 2023.
Someone, Repeatonomics, always looking for a chance to bust us on something, asked what number this is. Travis sent us one sampler. So this is unnumbered. This one will go unnumbered so as not to
There's no serial number on this one.
defile the numbering system. I was actually talking to my wife. Mark that down if you're playing bingo at home. My wife. I was telling her I might have to have her number these just so it looks a little bit fancier.
So it's eligible.
Yeah.
So people know what number they actually got.
Like, ooh, that's fancy.
Mm-hmm. Legible.
So
eligible, I said. Legible. I'm like, why that word sounds legible? There we go.
Yeah. So that's the drop. We're pretty excited about it. Black Friday is our biggest time of the year for selling stuff. It's we spend a lot of time getting this stuff ready, planning this out.
There's just a lot that
goes
into it.
we a lot rides on it kind of in a way where like a lot of the success of the year.
You just have decent expectations for
yeah.
what can and should happen. Unfortunately, we didn't have a drink spotter this year.
Right, right.
Last year, November was pretty wild when you released the drink spotter.
Yeah, the drink spotter's been around for just over a year now, which is
actually wild to think about.
Seems like it's been a lot longer.
Yeah,
it seems like that's been a part of Massenomics for as long as we've been around, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
If there was ever a time for you to support us, though, we would appreciate you supporting us over the Black Friday weekend because it is an important time of the year for us, and I go into a deep depression if we don't sell as much as I hope we expect to.
It literally ruins Tanner's entire year. So.
I will take it out on my family over Thanksgiving if this does not go as I like.
Yeah, because he'll have to spend so much time with them because he won't be packing orders.
I'd be like, I was hoping to be locked in my basement for days on end.
I'm stuck with you losers this whole weekend.
We already did a couple things.
Can you just leave me alone?
No, but Massenomics does change the dynamic of the Thanksgiving holiday a little bit when you're running. And I'm sure we talked about this over the years, but it changed the dynamic a little bit because it's just a little more stressful when you have a business where a certain percentage of your year rides on like a 4-day window.
Yes, essentially a weekend.
And where that window also happens to be one of the major, family holidays of the year.
You just hope things don't explode. It's a survival mode, really.
Yep.
So please, I guess if this 25-minute sales pitch didn't do anything, please buy our stuff.
Yeah. Big Justin mentioned he's hoping we're bringing back the PBR shirt. Stick around. We'll occasionally bring things out of the vault. I think that's on the short list of things that could come out of the vault. It's not in this.
Luckily, we have
one,
the combination. We can get in.
We can get into the vault.
Not often, but every once in a while.
Every once in a while, it's one of the like certain bank vaults. I don't know if you know this, but they are in a timer in a way that once they've been locked, you can't open them for a certain amount of time. So that's actually a real thing. So we do play by those rules with the Massenomics vault also. Once we've gotten in there and closed it back up, sometimes we can't get
and
back
it requires 3 people to open it, but there's only 2 of us, so we have to find a third person we can trust enough to help in the opening process.
I don't know.
It's actually kind of like Ocean's 11, where we just got to have the right combination of guys to get
it's
this.
like, okay, we've got Larry from the gym.
Now we need someone like small and real athletic to do some flips and stuff.
So we call Scants. Like Scants, we're gonna tuck you inside this box.
There's a science to this. Nothing's accidental.
Yeah. Like we need someone Canadian.
Yeah. Should we do a can?
Let's bust into a can.
I
could use. I'm thirsty after this Dakota Breeze.
I need something to clear to reset my senses here. Make sure I can still taste things. This is a what's in the can, Tanner. So suit up.
Oh,
that could almost be on our bingo too.
I hope this isn't a trick where you stuff the Dakota Breeze under my nose when I'm blindfolded.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself here.
That scent is unassuming, but just as destructive of the winds of the Great Plains, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen all the downed trees lately?
Yeah, that's no joke, is it?
Well, there's not actually a lot of trees in my neighborhood, so I was kind of
not at risk. Exempt.
No, I didn't have. You got some more.
Not
mature
too many
trees
though.
In your
not
area?
too many. Not too many where I'm at.
I saw my old house. They had an enormous crane out there.
Yeah. I just talked to one of your old neighbors today, and they had to do the crane over his house.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was driving through town. I'm like, what is this crane? I've never seen a crane this big in Aberdeen before.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's some major construction project, and as I'm going, I'm realizing I'm getting closer to my house, and then I see it's just to like take branches off of the houses. All right.
I'm just sitting over here blindfolded talking about
I was
trees.
just going to see how long we can record without you having a can or
I'm
being
thirsty
able to see.
right now. Have we had this before?
I do not think we've had this. I believe this is new to the show.
It smells like a brewski.
Kind of tastes like one too.
Oh yeah. That's a brewski. I know a brewski when I taste one. It's not actually, this isn't what I usually use the word brewski for, but it is a beer. It's pretty good. Feels a little summery to me, but
okay.
I'm getting a certain bitterness to it at the end, maybe. Let me try it again. I'm getting a bitterness to it that I'm not great at beers, but I'm getting a bitterness to it, but not that much of one. So it makes me feel like it's almost like a more mild IPA or something like that.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's a very good guess. Let's take
see
a
what
look
we
here.
got.
We have the Goose Island Bright Sunshiny Haze, which it's a hazy IPA. So I would say, it's
I pretty
kind
much
of
nailed it, right?
Yeah, you basically
And
nailed
I said
it.
it
Right
feels summery, and it's called the Bright Sunshiny. I think that's as good as I could
I actually
get.
didn't even know what the name of this was. I just had them. Actually, I think the name is Hazy Bear Hug. But the bear is holding a sign that says Bright Sunshiny Haze, which is almost the words used to describe it exactly. So I think you passed that one in flying
That's
colors.
like a good, I think I scored, that was on the money. Holiday weekend, right? When in Rome.
Got to live it up. I bought some of these this summer, and I thought, damn, these are really good. And I bought them multiple times since then because I've just enjoyed them so much. I think the hazy IPA thing, I actually like IPAs, all of them, but I think the hazy thing does bring down that bitterness level a little bit, you know?
That's why I was saying, like, I could tell the bitterness, but it was more muted or a little bit milder in that way.
Yeah.
Pretty good. What do you give it?
Oh, as far as beers go, this is a 4 for me for sure. It's 6.8%, so I would not want to drink these all night.
Right.
I'd have a rough morning the next day, unless I was like actually really trying to party. But yeah, this is a 4 for me for sure.
Yeah, let me try it one more time. I'll give it a 3.5. IPAs are not my particular
Typical
favorite.
go-to.
What I don't like is about IPAs in general is that after bitter taste. I just don't like it as well. But this being
It's somewhat more muted.
I do like it. Like I would drink 2 tree of these, and that'd be good for me. And then I would be sick, and then I would be like, I don't like that anymore. Like it's
over it.
Yeah, but I've like one of these for sure. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I think the first weekend I got these was on 4th of July weekend, so it's just kind of like this little taste of summer now. You know, when I think of these, so
Not bad.
not
bad,
too
Nick Bean.
shabby. Okay, what should we talk about?
We've got a lot of things on our list,
all
don't we?
types of things here.
We really do have a lot of things on our list
Okay,
too,
we're
especially
gonna-
with no guests. We prepared a lot of topics.
We have
so.
one thing here. I've had this on my list for a while. I have Target written down here.
Yeah, I always wondered what that
between
was.
gym member Caden and some other guys, there's multiple times I really like this. I can go into our local Target and the workers are wearing red Massenomics t-shirts, and that counts as their Target uniform. I think that's so awesome that guys are working with Massenomics shirts on.
Yes. The other day I went in there, and Caden was in the big Caden from the gym, also supporting member. Shout out, was in there, and we were both wearing the varsity script Massenomics shirt, and I'm like, it looks like I work here right now.
Yeah, that would be the case. Someone might get you confused.
Yeah, there's we have a couple supporting members, Big Caden and Big Mason.
And there was another guy there. I don't know who he was. He was the other day, had a Massenomics shirt on, and
Younger guy.
No clue who he was.
Yep, I know who that is too.
So that's nice.
There's like a team of local Target employees all wearing Massenomics shirts.
It's like that Nathan For You episode. What's he say? We're starting the sleeper cell where they're just slowly gonna take over Target from the inside. Yeah. It's all part.
I was curious. I'm like, they let you do that? And they're like, yep, as long as it's some shade of red.
Blows my mind.
I'm like, all right.
Dress codes. Who needs them, right?
Yes. Another day at the office. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's something you can't learn in business school.
Do you think that phrase is true? Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Do I think it's true? I 100% know it's true.
Yeah. It's very true in a lot of things, isn't it?
It's so true. It actually probably gets
It's like
amplified.
disturbingly true.
It probably gets amplified even more when you're in a smaller. There's probably levels to it, but in a smaller community, especially, oh my God, it's so apparent at times. Yeah. Very, very, very. The first time I ever heard that was when I was in college, and I thought, no, that's not how it works. Oh man, did I have some living to do?
Yeah. Wait till you go get jobs and stuff like that. It's like, it's straight up who you know.
Oh, so much.
It almost doesn't matter what you're like. I don't know. It's not true on everything across the board, but in a lot of spaces,
There's a lot of situations it doesn't matter. Yeah.
That just shows it's not what you know, it's who you know.
So now that we wrapped up business class for the night, we talked about Black Friday drop. Okay, there was a little bit of a controversy last week.
Oh yeah,
Tanner. People. I was wondering. I didn't. We have a pretty smart crowd. I didn't think anything was going to slip by them.
Yeah, can't slip anything past this crew.
And this did not slip past them at all.
Yeah, we had an incident on Over Under where we actually did allow someone to ride the line.
And not just once.
Yeah, so we'd like to formally apologize for that first of all.
And how funny is it that I had mentioned earlier in that episode how riding the line ruins something?
It does.
And then we had 2 instances of it just minutes later.
So we did talk to Co Kieft about riding the line. He apologized and did say that fullbacks are underrated. So we can put that to bed. Formal retraction, fullbacks are underrated.
Good.
So just everyone knows Co Kieft was extremely sorry about that. And he will never let it happen again. And
Did
to be
we
fair,
ever-
we will never let it happen again.
Did we ever get his formal position on Kirk Cousins though?
He said
After that loss last week, you
Oh,
could probably
I
say
guess that says it all.
we could
right?
just speak for him and say overrated.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That Kirk Cousins' performance this last boy, that was just a shitstorm of a game, wasn't
Oh
it?
my God. Went from one of the best Vikings games I'd ever seen in my entire life to easily one of the worst. Like,
Yeah.
that's the Vikings though. It's a team of ups and downs.
Yep. Sometimes in the NFL, though, what I've noticed, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Well, it might be a little bit of what you know there too. Actually, there's not. Do you think there's many more jobs that are more? Do you think there's many jobs that are more merit based than professional sports?
No.
Your pay is tied pretty directly
Yeah.
to your performance. A lot of times it's people guess. I shouldn't say a lot. Most times it's people guessing on. They're looking at past performance
yeah.
and projecting what they think future performance can be.
Big Jeff from the Discord, I'm not sure if he's on there, but he's told me that past performance is not necessarily.
It's not, but that's all you have. That's all you have to go with, though, right?
Right.
I don't know what I was reading, but I saw something online and people were complaining about professional athletes, and someone did bring up the point of like, well, there's not many more jobs that are more merit based than professional sports, and they do got a point there.
That's a good point.
Where a lot of offices people have checked out years ago,
Oh,
and they're
yeah,
still
you
getting
can ride
paid.
that forever.
I think you could say most offices people have checked out years ago. Where professional sports, you check out, people say, "Damn, this guy's career's done," and then it's done not too long later.
Yeah. Something I've noticed though, I've been in an office for like 10 years, and really though, sometimes this is going to sound strange, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. Did you feel like I was going? Did you know that I was going there?
I
again, or-
thought for maybe a second you were going to give me something else.
I
actually
thought
you were gonna
this
say-
is going to sound strange.
No, I
so I
thought
thought
actually this is
yeah.
what you're going to say. They're going to say this might sound strange, but sometimes they want you to check out because rocking the boat, no one
That's
likes
true.
that.
Yeah, that's like
They want like a
there's-
certain level of passiveness.
that's
in
that's
the
true.
ship. Actually,
yeah, like you can't.
oh, you're going to come in and fight the system? Okay, well, unless
you
you're
just screwed it up for everyone.
unless you're
dude.
the guy in charge that's allowed to do that, no one really wants like dissent in the ranks here.
Right.
Because everyone's like, oh, who's this asshole making more work for all of us? So,
Yep.
another pro tip there.
Pro tip. I'm going to write a book on those someday about office work tips. Someday after I don't work in an office.
Just reflecting back.
My
on-
livelihood doesn't rely on it.
It's not dependent on who you know anymore.
Yeah. You know what else? You know who else I know? Which this is good because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Who?
I know Grant Brogy,
Do you? I
He
kind of
owns-
know that guy too.
the Strength Co. And speaking of Black Friday deals, boy howdy. Starting 12 a.m. Friday, November 25th until 12 a.m. Tuesday, November 29th. So as you come out, you still have 2 days to take advantage of this. They have their biggest and essentially only sale of the year. So do not wait around for the next sale because there isn't a next sale this year.
There isn't going to be a
There
next
is
one.
not going to be one. So the more you buy, listen to this, the more you buy, the more you save.
Business School 101
Yeah.
right there.
Buy $500, save $50. Buy $750, save $75. That math just checks out. But then buy $1,000,
Here's the kicker.
yep, save $150.
All right.
Buy $1,500 or more, and you save $250 off your order.
Nice.
Yeah, that's some serious savings, especially if you're really in the market to buy a significant amount of plates. Like, it doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah. Now's the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time to buy.
That is on, like I said, at the Strength Co. That's from Friday, November 25th at 12 a.m. until Tuesday, November 29th at 12 a.m. Only sale of the year at the Strength Co.
Oh, that was awesome. I really like the motivational image that Keith made for you up there.
That one from Massenomics YouTube 2015.
What are
circa
you holding
2015.
there? What
a
is that?
banana.
Okay.
I think it was a nutrition episode.
I couldn't remember what that was for sure. I
It's
didn't know
probably
if it
explaining
was
the importance of bananas in your nutrition.
of where potassium just gets so overlooked.
That's when we were revolutionizing YouTube.
One video at a time.
Massenomics was barely Massenomics at that point in time.
there was the name
Yeah.
and the logo. Outside of that, there wasn't much else. Okay, this episode is also brought to you by the fine people over at Swisslink. I'm checking right now. They have stuff on sale. I can't tell you for sure, though, if this is a Black Friday sale or if it's just part of their just always great prices that they do have.
Always great prices. Always at Swisslink.
They're great. But let me tell you about Swisslink. Maurice Big Mo Huffman, he founded Swisslink in 1995, and he had a partner based in Switzerland. Their mission was to bring authentic Swiss Army goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. Over the years, that mission expanded to nations across Europe and beyond. Now, for nearly 3 decades, Big Mo has been traveling far and wide in search of the best items from around the world. Things like storm bags, NATO fuel cans, Belgian wool gloves, German knit wool mittens, Swiss Army sunglasses, those are styling, and of course, everyone's favorite, potassium iodine tablets. At Swisslink.com, you can find classic military surplus uniforms, all that great stuff we just talked about. But you can treat yourself to the real thing with authentic military surplus and save 15% off your first order from Swisslink.com with the code MASS at checkout. That's MASS to save 15% at Swisslink.com. Thank you, Swisslink.
I was just looking. They got some really cool sweaters. So not only can you get yourself some of these Massenomics coats, they also have some good, really cool looking sweaters, and of course the wool blankets we've talked about. So check them out for sure.
Yeah, if you're a traditionalist and you like your coats to have like zippers and buttons on them, well, they got you covered there.
Yeah,
I do think they have one of the better looking online stores out of.
Yeah,
I'm from a design standpoint really, really impressed with the quality of their website.
no, it's snazzy.
It is. It's animations are just tasteful and good. The layout makes sense. God, we talk about it a lot. How many e-commerce stores just suck with their categorizations and
it's
layouts.
good to give work. We do spend a lot of time behind the scenes talking about ones that we know are terrible. So it's good to give credit where credit is due on one as good as Swisslink.
Yeah, they're easily they're
top tier,
S tier, A tier, whatever you want to say is the top rank in your list. They are there for sure. So, thank you, Swisslink.
Do you want to do a little sack segment?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where we're at, but we'll do a little sack segment now. Pop into this little sack I brought for you here.
Am I allowed to look?
Yeah, you can just go ahead and take a peek at that sack.
Just dive right in.
Yeah, dive head first.
Oh, shit. All right.
Oh, shit. Shake that ass, gonna move it.
Oh. Grant. Okay. So these tees are just so heavy duty. I like it. Okay, so we got the Strength Co Turkey Pull tee. Holding it up on the camera just so everyone can see. We got the Strength Co on the right chest. All right, mixing it up. Right chest.
Yep.
And we got the big Strength Co Turkey Pull logo on the back. I like this. I like this shirt. Damn, 6.5 ounce.
That's a lot of OZs.
There's a lot of OZs on the tees.
So they had the turkey pull going on this year. You know, if you're sick of the old turkey trot, the 5K turkey thing that goes on every Thanksgiving, the new trend, the turkey pull, where you snag one of their turkey tees and you get in on some deadlifting over the Thanksgiving holiday. I think it's probably too late to get a shirt in time, but if you've got one, get in on the deadlifting, or even if you don't have a shirt, I would just get in on it anyways and maybe tag up, turkey pull and get in on it still.
Yeah.
For fun. For the shits and the gigs of it.
Yeah, it looks like they had a pretty cool deadlift party for it.
They did.
I like they had the full backdrop. They had the flag. They got
There's a couple
the
of
straw
people wearing
bales out.
Massenomics tees in there too. Some people that were definitely on the pursuit of strength, if you know what I mean.
I know what you're saying. I kind of like this tee. We might have to look into doing a one-off on something kind of boxy, chunky like this.
Yeah.
Different vibe. I like it a lot.
Chunky monkey tee.
Hey, look at this. Gray. I got grays. I got the grays going on
They
here.
know about the grays.
That time of the year. Sweet.
So thanks
Good
again to
stuff.
the Strength Co.
Yeah, I heard they have a pretty banging Black Friday sale.
I heard about it on this podcast I listened to. What do you think about? Well, let's see. Should we play Has He Seen It?
Yeah, let's do it. Unless you have something else you want to get
Oh,
to.
there's other things, but I think we should do. Has he seen it? Then maybe supporting our supporting members, and then make the judgment call of if we kick off the Discord crew to talk, because we hit the 7-year anniversary of Massenomics Gym, and I got some fun stuff to discuss there, and maybe we want to kick them off beforehand and make them listen to that when it comes out this next week. But first, we'll for sure let them in on has he seen it and supporting our supporting members. So has he seen it? If you've been playing along at home over the last several weeks, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. This will be the 7th. It's has he seen it? We have a list of movies from a particular year each week where we find out if Tommy has or has not seen it. This year we're on to 1996. We're going to find out has he seen it. We're going to ask him 8 movies this week. And we're taking 2. I'm taking 2 off the table.
So you're asking me 8, but you're actually going to ask me 6, or you're going to ask me 10 and you're taking 2 off, bringing it down to 8.
2. The top
Is
first
this
2 I'm not
addition
even
by
gonna
subtraction or
right? You 2 wrongs make a right.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 negatives. When you multiply them by each other, it becomes a positive. But these first 2 are not included in the 8. There will be 8 that you're quizzed on. These
so
8,
important that they need to be discussed.
they just have to be discussed, but they're not going to be put in the list because you've seen them. And the first one is Black Sheep.
Yep.
It's not going to be in the list. That's just required watching material.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be on the list. Chris Farley, we've talked about that movie handfuls of times on the show.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, though. That is a good movie.
Me too. I would like to watch that, actually.
Yeah.
The other one that is not going to be quizzed on is Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
Also required watching, I think. That was an interesting discussion in the Discord this week, is what is like a prerequisite. You know, if Massenomics is a university class, what do you have to watch first before you really are prepared to dive into the Massenomics podcast? What do you think, if we're talking just movies, what are 3 prereqs to listen to the Massenomics podcast?
I think where I struggle is like picking just 3.
Yeah. Are there any that come to your mind that as I just named 3 as just a number.
I think from a conceptual level, I don't know if this.
And there's different ways to look at that.
Yeah, that's why, because you could go different ways. I kind of think from a conceptual level, I really like the parallels that Massenomics are. That Wayne's World has with Massenomics.
Okay.
I think there's some really interesting parallels there.
I mean, the 2 guys in the basement
recording a show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally what we're doing here.
In the Midwest.
Yes, in the Midwest, exactly.
With long hair.
Yeah. That's so I do like, and it is one of my favorite all-time movies. So I do really like how that aligns there.
Those listen on the Discord, let us know what you think is a prerequisite that you must watch. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit us up in the YouTube comments which you think are prerequisites that you should have to watch before diving into the full Massenomics catalog. One that comes to my mind, just because it feels like it's come up so much and that there's so many references around it, and you know it's our age and stuff like that, is I think it's Austin Powers is one that really comes to my mind, that we just we hit on that so frequently.
We do.
And if I was to pick, but then if you pick a
just
movie,
from like a quoting standpoint, but not from like, there's nothing that like we're not doing anything awesome. It's just the quotes. But yes, that is. I mean, that was growing up. I thought that was the funniest movie ever for so long.
Yeah.
I probably thought that was the funniest movie because what was that, like 98 or something? I think we said. When I saw that at the time, I thought that was the funniest movie I'd ever seen, probably until Joe Dirt came out. And then I thought Joe Dirt was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. But
someone brought up Dazed and Confused. I mean, very good movie. I like Dazed and Confused. Freddie Got Fingered. I like Freddie Got Fingered way more than like that people should like that movie. I think Freddie Got Fingered is hilarious. I don't know if I still think it's hilarious.
I would actually like to see it.
Yeah. That was one that we had a DVD on and we would watch like repeatedly and like just quote it, and you know it's just so.
Yep.
I mean, it's
I don't
Tom
see
Green.
2 LeBarons.
Yeah.
I don't see 2.
There's only one LeBaron.
I don't see Freddie's LeBaron.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
The backwards man.
Yeah,
there's a lot of, and that movie is very extreme. So
my hooves, Daddy.
I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And the animations of their feet are literally like going in circles and his hooves are clopping. And it's like, this is just the dumbest cartoon ever. And this is like his dream was
It's
to
like
make
a
this
little
cartoon.
disturbing
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, this is so stupid. Yeah.
So that I think Austin Powers.
Yeah.
We talked about it last weekend. I'm a little disturbed at the number of people that have reported in that they haven't watched Dumb and Dumber.
I am blown away. And we've also seen it has a lot of overlap with people that live in Ohio, apparently.
Yeah.
That
Do you think, would you categorize Dumb and Dumber as a prereq?
I mean, I would, but that's also like saying, knowing how to add and subtract is a prereq to go to college.
algebra?
Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I almost feel like that's almost too rudimentary to have on the list because I thought it was an assumption.
One of the Davids mentioned Anchorman.
That's
That's the
still-
valid point.
when I think of Anchorman now, though, I still just think of the meme of before memes existed, it was just guys who just sit around and
quote Anchorman.
Quote Anchorman for,
Which I did, definitely.
for years
Yeah,
on end. It was just, that's all it was.
Big Keith said Dumb and Dumber overrated. I don't necessarily know if I disagree with that, but that doesn't change the fact of how much of a prereq I think it is either, you know?
Yeah. Very true.
Um,
I think if I had to say from a business school standpoint, just watch Nathan For You. It's not a
yeah,
movie,
Yeah.
but
We take things
just from a marketing,
a
marketing standpoint, man,
like-
that show just got so many things right to me. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's dive in. Has he seen it? 1996 edition. Happy Gilmore and Black Sheep are off the table. A lot of movies in 96 that I would like to put on here, to tell you the truth. I'd pare this one down a little bit. Do you have a guess? Last week you went 5 for 7. Week before that, 3 for 7. Week before that, 3 for 8. You're averaging about 500 over the last several weeks. We got 8 this week.
I want to say 5 for sure, but do I want to go 6?
This is an interesting mix of movies here.
Then I better go 5.
Yeah, I think that's a safer bet. I'm not sure where this one's going to end up, to tell you the truth. I don't know. It could be 5 or 6, or it could be like 3, because there's just a barrage here. So 1996, has Tommy seen it? Independence Day.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
That movie
That was one I could have been.
kind
I
of
wouldn't have
almost
known.
scared me a little bit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Aliens and all this, but Will Smith kept it fun enough that I wasn't totally scared. So
Yeah.
I probably haven't seen it since shortly after that time, but I have seen Independence Day.
Okay. So he has
Scene
seen
where they blow up the White House.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I have not seen it for a really long time
Yeah.
either. All I can picture is, the ship like above, isn't like
Above
whatever
it,
the
it's like,
image is.
Yeah, shoots the laser down. Yeah.
A freaking laser.
I guess maybe we should say spoiler alert for some
Oh,
of
yeah.
this.
True. Good point. Have you ever seen Wild Wild West?
Oh,
With
yeah.
Will Smith?
With giant evil spider.
Yeah. That's a bad movie.
I think it is. Have not seen it since I was a child, so I do not remember huge parts of it. With General Loveless.
Yeah. Will Smith turned down what role to take on Wild Wild West? It would make you sick to your stomach, the role he turned down. I can't remember what it is. I know I read this somewhere that the role he turned down to take Wild Wild West. Maybe someone can. Oh, The Matrix. That's what it
Really?
is. Yeah, he turned down being Neo.
See,
Can you imagine The Matrix with Will Smith though? Because I can't.
no, because that's what I was gonna say is Will Smith is kind of one of those actors, almost like Brad Pitt, where you're like, well, yeah, it's Brad Pitt or it's Will Smith, and they're acting, but also Keanu Reeves has kind of gotten to that level now too,
Yeah,
to an extent. But no, I cannot picture.
and you can
it
picture
was such-
anyone else as it.
Well,
you
because
know.
it was such an iconic role for Keanu Reeves, so
Right,
it's hard
right.
to now picture anyone else doing that
for sure. I feel like Will Smith would have ruined it.
Well, because I always think of Will Smith as kind of more of an over-the-top, more
Exactly.
animated actor.
Exactly.
And Keanu Reeves plays it pretty cool, like low-key the entire time.
Cool cucumber for sure, right? Cool
He is.
cucumber. So Independence Day, you have seen it. Now we're going
I have.
comedy. Usually say you're a little bit better on comedies than others. I don't know about this. I don't know if we've ever talked about this show, but it's I know you know it. It's popular in its own circles. 1996, has Tommy seen it? The Cable Guy.
I have actually. It's been a very long time, but I have seen the Cable Guy.
Yeah, getting back to Jim Carrey.
Yes. Boy, actually, maybe I haven't seen it because I'm trying to think of the plot, and I can't really tell you the plot for sure.
I've seen it. I haven't seen it for a long time. All I remember about is them going to like a medieval restaurant, like a role-playing restaurant, and like that's all I remember about it. Like the only scene I remember is them being at like this. You know what those theme restaurants where it's like you watch a medieval thing go down to?
I might have changed my answer here. Part of me says I've seen it, but I don't remember a thing about that movie. Maybe I have not. I think I have to change it to I have not seen it.
Okay. So you're going no.
I don't think I have.
Okay. Cable Guy was a dark stalker. That's what we're getting. Okay. Okay. 1996. This one intrigued me. I was curious. I'm most curious to hear your response on this. It's not The Wire. 1996. Has Tommy seen it? Barbed Wire.
Oh, with Pamela Anderson?
Yes. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. I haven't seen it either, but you would know it for sure.
I just remember seeing the cover
of
it when I would go to the video store when I was a kid and being like, damn, I wish I could watch that movie.
Yeah. Do you recognize that scene from Cable Guy, though, where he presses his boob up to the glass and says, "Oh, Billy"?
No.
Okay.
No, which I think probably reinforces that I have not seen that movie.
Yeah, that's probably the most iconic scene, I would say. Okay. So you haven't seen Barbed Wire. Neither have I. But I was curious. I didn't know because
I was,
we were of the
I
age.
was 7 in 96. Scans is wondering how old I was.
Okay. But
by the time it came to the video store, I was probably 8 or 9.
Right. And you'd probably almost be old enough that you'd be kind of interested in watching a Pamela Anderson movie.
Yeah,
at that point in time.
I think even then, like when you were 7, 8, 9, I think even then she was big. Like people knew who she was.
And I don't know what it was, but deep inside I could tell that's something I would like to watch.
I'm not sure why, but I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah, I can't put my fingers on it precisely. I
can't describe
what I'm feeling
what
weird
this
about
is.
it, and I would like to watch it.
I want to hold that movie. I have to actually see what the cover of this thing looked like now. Yeah. I feel like it was like her holding a gun or something, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yep. Man, my memory just stuck. Oh come on, Barbed Wire movie. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Looks very 1996.
Yes, it does.
So you're one. We're saying no on Cable Guy then, just to officially.
Yeah.
Because there is a database forming on this this game now, I believe. So so right now you're 1 for 3. We just talked about this one, and I can't remember what your actual answer was, so I figured I'll still include it because I don't remember if your answer is yes, I've seen it, or no. 1996, have you seen it? Twister.
I have. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Twister terrified me as a child living in the Midwest where tornadoes do exist. Just thought a tornado was going to be coming through at any minute.
And even though we talked about it the other week and we couldn't quite remember, and I just saw it. They ruined it. Bill Paxton. That was the name. I was going to quiz you to see if you could remember that. Featuring Bill Paxton and Meg Ryan. Twister, Meg Ryan.
There you go.
2 for 4, halfway home, and 50% so far.
And also, actually, to tie this in with Austin Powers, one of my favorite lines from Austin Powers, fat bastard, my favorite Helen Hunt movie, Twister. That's so good. I still say that.
Yeah, it's Helen Hunt, not Meg Ryan. Yeah. I keep saying it.
Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
My favorite Helen Hunt movie, Twister.
2 for 4. Okay, next one, comedy. I feel like we've talked about this show over the years, but I can't remember if you've seen it. Although you are in a bowling league, so that makes me feel more inclined that you have seen it. Have you seen it, Kingpin?
Yes, I have seen Kingpin.
Woody Harrelson.
It's a good one. Woody, it is good. That's the Farrelly brothers did Dumb and Dumber as well.
Yeah. What's better, Kingpin or Dumb and Dumber?
Well, Dumb and Dumber is better, but Kingpin's still really good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I think people should watch it for sure.
especially if you're in a bowling league.
Especially if you're into bowling.
Like that's a prereq for being in a bowling league. They're like, have you seen Kingpin?
Oh, yeah, like-
No, okay, go home, watch Kingpin, then show back up. Go watch. You've got a couple things to do. Go watch Kingpin and go watch
The Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski, right? Yeah.
And Bill Murray's in it too.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
people always like him.
People love Bill Murray, don't they?
They do.
Maybe overrated in that sense to play the game
I
fairly.
would not disagree with that.
Oh, okay. Wrong game. So right now you're 3 of 5. And we're to a Tom Cruise movie, unfortunately for you.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Here we go.
And it's time for you to show me the money and tell me, have you seen Jerry Maguire?
I have not seen it.
I
No,
think I already
no,
knew that you hadn't
no.
seen Jerry Maguire.
I think I've seen like 3 Tom Cruise movies in my life. Mission Impossible 2.
It's funny that it's not Mission Impossible.
I know. I remember going to the second one in theaters when I was young. I never saw the first one. We've talked about this. Whatever Tom Cruise. Oh, Day After Tomorrow, and I think there's one more. I have to pull up his IMDb, but yeah. So I'm out.
So I kind of knew
I'm out.
that was a no.
Yep.
3 for 6, 2 to go. I don't know where you stand on these next 2. This next one's a real wild card.
Oh boy.
A real wild card movie. I saw it on the list and I just felt like that's got to be on
boy.
there. What an interesting movie.
Here we go.
Have you seen it? Mars Attacks.
I have seen Mars Attacks. Yes.
Do you agree? Like funny, interesting movie to be on the list.
Yeah, I remember as a kid that movie terrified me. I thought it was so scary. Those damn aliens were very scary.
Yeah.
We actually had a Mars Attacks action figure that you could push the button and he would make a noise, which is weird thinking about now.
They're real creepy.
Yes, I would like to see. Okay, now that looks very, very like fake.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me want to watch the movie and just see how the whole thing holds up because
I feel like that would not hold up. That looks horrible.
Oh, it looks like, oh, is it a PlayStation 1? Like, am I looking at PlayStation 1 graphics here? But at the time, that was just terrifying to me.
Yeah.
These like aliens with a skeleton head and a
I
brain.
agree. I thought, yeah. So right now you are at 4 of 7.
I'm not sure at what point I ever actually did get through watching that because, I don't remember. I definitely didn't decide when I was 20 years old that now I was appropriate for me to watch it. So I watched it at some point.
Yeah. You know how we like to end on Arnold movies.
Oh, boy.
We're doing it this week in 1996. And it is the holiday season. Has he seen it? Jingle All the Way.
Yes, I've seen Jingle All the Way multiple times.
Okay.
Filmed in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
at the Mall of America for huge parts of the movie. I think that's a classic, right? Arnold has a lot of classics, but I think that is up there for Arnold movies.
Yep.
As cheesy as it might be.
So 5 for 7 or 5 for 8. Is that right?
I called it, right?
Yeah. He called it. Babe Ruth did again. 5 for 8. Doing pretty good, like as of the last few weeks here. You're kind of letting people down, I think.
I know. Well, I think there was just some really big blockbusters that I didn't see, so I got myself a bad reputation from the start.
Yeah, that's probably the bigger thing.
And actually, the bigger thing was I didn't watch Tom Cruise movies.
Right. That's how it all starts.
There's no Tom Cruise movies, and then you miss a few major blockbusters here and there, and all
the
of a
people
sudden,
start to wonder, have you seen any
people
movies
think
ever?
you're just this uncultured
swine.
Yeah.
5.
And maybe I still am, but it's to be decided.
Yeah, that was a good score though. That was a good week. Interesting array of movies there from 1996.
Did he ask about The Rock? That was 96. You did not, but I have seen The Rock.
I looked at that as an option. I just assumed you hadn't seen that one.
Wait a minute.
You're thinking of The Wrestler.
Wait, are we talking about Dwayne Johnson or something else here? Yeah, it's the one with Sean Connery, right? God, I still don't remember if I've watched this movie, actually, now that I think about it. I feel like I have, but I would have rented it when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I just cannot remember it that well. Boy, I don't know.
Do you want to do a little supporting our supporting members?
Let's do it.
Because we have a list of them here this week. Whew.
We have over 200 we're going to get through right now.
So supporting our supporting members is a relatively new segment of the podcast that's growing, fastly growing, where we give back to our supporting members. Our supporting members are those that choose to support us monetarily. That option is on our website, available in our store. You can choose to support us monetarily as well. We have at least 4 different options for you to choose from. There is an option for almost anyone. If you heard us talk about all of our new products that were coming out and none of that interests you and you still want to support us, a great way to do that, aside from the merchandise, or if you'd like to support us in addition to the merchandise, would be signing up to become a supporting member on our website. We would love to see it. Every time someone new signs up, it brings a smile to my face.
It makes my day.
Yeah.
As bad as my week might be.
Then
I just look forward to those.
Really, it's only new supporting members that keep me hanging on.
Only redeeming thing I got going for me right now.
Yeah. So please sign up if you'd like to, and you get a discount code, access to our Discord community, which is a really fun community of like-minded individuals. A bunch of silly geese in there. You get to listen to the podcast live as it comes out, if you so choose to do that.
Early access to drops.
Yeah, and early info on drops, just like now. They're getting to know about this stuff, and you other suckers aren't finding out till Monday, unless you've been on the internet, then you already know by Friday.
Use Instagram like an old-fashioned person.
So our members that we're going to support this week, Big Andrew Montoya, we just missed this one last week. He had competed at OSG in the Big Boy Open class. He finished 21 out of 44, 21st out of 44 in the Open class. Some of those events were a 365 Viking press, a 350 per hand farmer's carry. He did a 700 axle deadlift for like 5 reps and some sandbag to the shoulder with like well over 500 or 300 pounds. So Big Andrew, very strong. Big Andrew Montoya, hashtag South Dakota.
Represent.
Yep. Next is Big Dry Cereal. Big Dry Cereal, I don't know his name. That's just a Discord handle. Big Dry Cereal completed his last Juggernaut AI cycle and did his testing phase. Hit a 285 squat, a 200-pound deadlift, or a 200-pound bench, which was a 15-pound PR, and a 365 deadlift. So
nice.
Congratulations there. Then next, we had people competing in the garage gym competition.
And there was some competitors.
Yeah, so I'm going to run through these relatively quickly, but everyone will still get their due. One of the big Matts, Big Matt Cesney, 505 squat, 325 bench, 425 deadlift, 1285 total, Big Matt. Next is Big Murph, one of the chocolate chips in our chocolate chip cookie, as you know. 260 squat, 160 bench, 330 deadlift. PR on the deadlift. Sweet deadlift, too. Big Luke. I don't know all his numbers. I do know he had a 585 deadlift. 585 deadlift.
That's good.
Big Keith. See, he was listening live. 375 squat, 275 bench, 460 deadlift, and 1110 total.
There we go.
One of the Big Davids hit a 345 squat PR, 205 bench PR, 400 deadlift, a 950 total PR. Mm-hmm. Big garage gym updates. I think that's Big Mike. I didn't verify his first name, but garage gym updates on IG. 245 squat, 175 bench, 300 deadlift, 720 total. Big Jake. I think this is Big Jake from State Farm. 425 squat, 310 bench, 515 deadlift, a 1250 total from Big Jake.
There we go.
Big Waffle Iron Gym. He had to take a token squat, and then he had a 335 bench PR and a 550 deadlift from Big Waffle Iron Gym. Big Jeff, a Florida man, hit a 380 squat PR, 308.
Florida man hit squat PR.
Yeah. Read it here. Headline, 308 bench PR and a 455 deadlift PR. PRs across the board for Big Jeff.
That's awesome.
Big Toby, 385 squat, 275 bench, 525 deadlift, which was a PR, 1185 total from Big Toby. Big Sam the man, 605 squat, PR. Big squat from Big Sam.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they call him Big Sam.
Jeez, 605?
Yeah.
It's the South Dakota area code. Slow it down, man.
Next is going to be North Dakota. 701.
Do you know where you're going? Stop it.
335 bench, 585 deadlift, a 1520 total from Big Sam. Big Carp, of course, a 425 squat, 275 bench, 426 deadlift. Big Chris D, 350 squat, 240 bench, 360 deadlift. He used every plate he has in his house to hit it. 950 total. Big Eddie was sick, and he hit 95, 95, 95.
Good even numbers.
Yeah,
easy
Big
to remember.
Edward. And then Big Scants, The old man from Canada. 425 squat, 250 bench. Last but not least, big scans deadlift, 475.
There we go.
So well done to
God.
everyone.
Also, participation across the board. That's good stuff.
Everyone's getting in on the garage gym
Yeah,
competition.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Someone said, I want to be like Scants when I'm 1,000.
I guess I should have told my Juggernaut Peking to wait like one more week, and then I could have technically been in on the party too.
Big Rich said he got skipped. I thought I wrote his down. What were your numbers, Big Rich? Quick, get them so we can get you in on supporting our supporting members.
Report, get it, go.
Ah. Thought we had yours. Maybe we did that last.
Big Justin, mine too. Did we miss
Yeah, Big Justin. Let's hear yours also, because Big Rich, I thought I had these at one point in time. He did a 440 squat to 2, because we did do some last week, but he probably listened, so he probably knows better than me. 440 squat, 265 bench, and a 5-plate 495 deadlift for a nice even 1,200 pound total.
Yeah.
And Big Justin, what were your numbers in? Yeah, so Big Rich, maybe we did already say that. He admitted he did not listen yet. Big Justin, could you report your numbers for us, please?
Away. This is one of those times, if you were a faster typer.
And Big Lou, of course, our friend to the south, hit a 2 fireball record during lifting at the meet this last weekend. And what was your total, Big Lou? Big Justin hit a 413 squat, 243 bench, and 446 deadlift.
There we go.
There's a lot of supporting member stuff to try and keep track. Ooh, Big Lou.
Yeah.
Just a shade under a 1,600 pound total. He did that via 535 squat, 419 bench.
Jeez,
and
Lou.
a 644 pull.
Been doing some benching, Lou.
Yeah. 1598.
Good stuff.
Total. So good job supporting members. Now what do? Do we cut the supporting members off or the Discord members off, or
I don't care. Whatever.
let's cut them off?
Okay. You're done.
They need to.
All right.
You're fired.
Happy Thanksgiving, you little turkeys. They're gone. Okay. Now we can have some fun.
Finally. More relaxed without those guys in here.
Whew.
Yeah.
Be myself now.
Yeah. Okay. The topic I kind of wanted to talk about was Massenomics Gym's 7-year anniversary, and I had written down some facts on this. A lot of this you'll probably already know. We've probably talked about it before, but there's probably listeners that haven't heard all 347 episodes of this catalog.
They're still working through the back catalog.
Yes. So giving down a little rundown, Massenomics Gym, 7-year anniversary this month in November.
That's very hard to believe.
Yeah, initial impression is that seems crazy, doesn't it?
7 years ago. Damn, I was 25 then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 28, which seems really weird to think that I was just in my 20s when we, staring down the barrel of coming closer to 40. That I was in my 20s when we started.
I know, 25.
The gym.
Man.
That's a young man.
Yeah, and I'm not like I missed the 25 days. Like, not doing that, but man, 25. Like, that's hard to believe the gym's actually been around that long.
Yeah.
You know,
we were much, considerably younger, considerably more immature in some ways.
Very different lifestyles. Yeah. Yeah. It's just funny to think about. Wow. Okay.
So 7 years, which that's just wild in itself. And every year I've thought that, I'm like, God, how can that be already?
Yeah.
How can
it's just
that
so
be?
hard to believe.
So, outlook on it making to 10 years is pretty favorable, I think, at this point.
It is.
Which I don't know if I would have guessed at the beginning. If you would have asked me those first few months, if you would have thought this would be open 10 years from now, I probably would have said,
well, then
no.
10 years is like, well, God, that's like almost a third of my life. That's so long.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we opened the gym in November of 2015.
Our 10 years is over a third of my life, I should say.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
November of 2015. 2015, that is a long time ago.
The world was a simpler place then.
We had come over from the YMCA, where most of us were members. We started the gym with 12 original members.
Should I try and name? Do you know? Do you know?
Oh, 12? I actually didn't write it down, but
can I give it a rundown?
Yeah, let's.
Here? Okay, you, me, Ryan, Larry, Ryan Anderson.
Yeah.
Corey.
Yeah.
All
those 6 are right for sure so far.
Yes. Okay.
Want me to add some?
Sean?
I don't know if I have Sean down
Okay.
as an original member.
As original. Brandon?
Brandon was not an original.
Okay,
he
he
did
was
join
shortly
the gym.
after,
Yeah,
yeah.
he did join the original gym,
Trying
but
to
he
think of
wasn't.
who the hell else was down there when I would go down there? Oh, Ross.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I miss Ross.
So that's at 7. Those 7 are all locks.
Yep.
There's some people that aren't there anymore.
Yeah, and some of those guys I didn't know. Was Shane?
No,
not Shane.
no, he didn't join until the new gym.
Well, was Tyler an original member?
No,
or not? He was slightly
he
after.
joined up at the old.
Okay.
He joined about when we moved.
Ah,
actually,
he did.
you know.
Okay,
He
okay.
came and helped move.
Yeah,
but-
that's right. That's
yeah.
right. I'm trying to think of who the hell's on that picture.
Yeah,
Oh, Tom.
Tom
Yep.
Johnson.
Yep. Okay, so we're at 8.
Yeah,
I don't know who would be.
I can't. I didn't actually look through the. I think maybe Leah was maybe one of the original
probably
12. Also, so I think Leah. That brings us up to 9. So we said Tom. I wonder if his buddy Shane, his different Shane, not Big Shane.
That's
but-
the Shane I was talking about. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Okay.
you're right then. I think
Okay.
that he'd be one of them.
I didn't know if you meant like he started like a month or two later. Or...
Thick Nick was Thick Nick an original?
Oh, I remember him being down there. I don't know
Yeah.
if he was on day 1 or not. He probably was actually.
Yeah, I can't remember if Thick Nick was
Because
an
he has his
original.
picture hanging on the gym wall, and
Right,
that would
right.
have been pretty damn early.
Yeah, Thick Nick could have been an original.
Yeah. So that's like 11.
Yeah, we're right around there. And then maybe Sean was. I didn't think he was, but we're hitting most of them. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good. That's pretty good. 12 original members. You know how much we paid in rent at the original gym? Or first, what was the size of the original gym approximately?
Was it like 30 by 30 or?
Yeah, I have it written down as about 600 square feet. I don't know
Okay.
if it, figuring it was maybe like 20 by 30, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. 20, I was gonna say 20 by 20 because it's got to be a perfect square in my head,
Right. And it was probably squarish, yeah.
but yeah, it probably wasn't quite. So yeah, 20 by 30, I could believe that. That
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
And do you know how much rent was at the original location?
It was a few $100s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What was the exact
$300.
300, yeah.
It's what we paid in rent for that
For a-
first 6
for a
months in that
little-
location.
20 by 30 room in a basement
Yeah.
with basically a dirt floor.
And I still remember walking around with the landlord that owned this. This is a massive building, with all kinds of different, as like,
It's like
maybe
a
a
2 or
4
3 story building.
Yeah, it's
wasn't
a
it?
3 or 4, I think even. And going up to the top floor and looking at some different things and all this, I'm thinking some of this would be really good, but I'm not sure about these being on these floors with
And it
the
was
weights.
an old building,
Very
too.
old. One of the older ones in town, probably. And we get to the basement finally. One of the dirtiest, grungiest, least inhabitable basements you'd ever see. And I remember walking down there and being like, this feels like it's in our price range. I think we got this is the most
There's
unusable
no floor.
space
There's
ever.
no floor to be ruined.
Yeah. So that we make the deal happen. I ink the paper. We get it. I think we dropped. I dropped probably like $5 to $7 grand in equipment, kind of up front. A few other people footed,
And
a few
also,
grand worth
the
of
equipment game is so. We talk
Oh.
about this, but the equipment game is so different now than it was then.
Yeah.
Like Rogue wasn't really making powerlifting stuff yet.
No,
They were basically like a CrossFit company.
we also couldn't afford to really.
And we couldn't
buy
afford
anything
stuff
new.
either.
Yeah.
But oh man, the equipment was just such a different world then.
But I bought like a ton of like York milled plates at just a steal at the time. But like the market was just different even then.
And it was so-
7
yeah.
years ago. It was different.
I
Like
mean,
I
most
bought
of
them
those
for
plates-
like less than. I bought those York milled plates at less than $1 a pound.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you being like, didn't you buy? Was it about like 2,000 pounds right off the bat? Wasn't that about?
Yeah,
what
and it was like weird stuff with I hired people to ship it. Ship
really?
it here for some of them.
Where,
some of
where
the
did you
stuff.
buy them from?
Minneapolis.
Oh, you
Everything
did?
I bought was like used from Minneapolis, and I made like a trip there. But I also had some stuff shipped.
Really,
and-
I didn't know you had
yeah.
anything shipped ever.
Yeah, it was weird arrangements that I remember being a little stressed about, but it all worked out in the long run.
Wow.
So under 10 grand, we got that started though.
Which is also very funny because that gym had 12 people that wanted to go there and lift, and it was significantly smaller, and you could also make a pretty easy statement, significantly worse than a lot of people's home gyms now. A lot of people's home gyms.
Almost smaller than most people. Well,
Like
the size of a
the only
garage
thing you
gym.
could consider nice or that people would want today would be the York milled plates and the dumbbells.
Yeah.
Everything else in there has been.
We didn't have a nice bar.
We did
in
not have any
particular.
nice bars.
Yeah.
We did even the bench. The bench was homemade.
Yep.
The squat rack, the one was kind of shitty. The one was fine.
Yeah, we kept that around for
But
quite
I mean,
a
they
while.
weren't like
Yeah.
they weren't like squat racks that like
No.
super desirable by any means.
No.
The lat pull
We had
down.
some decent dumbbells.
The lat
that we
pull,
got,
yeah,
I
that's
guess,
the dumbbells are probably the dumbbells and the York plates were the most desirable thing from that setup, even to this day.
The lat pull down
It's
looks
still-
like junk, but yet
it's still
like,
rocking.
yeah, I
Like,
know
It's just not.
it's heavy duty.
Yeah, that's just not going to be high on anyone's priority list of that thing. But
But just to say exactly what we had in this first gym, we had a bench, we had a deadlift platform that we made, a 4x8 deadlift platform. We had our one machine was a lat pull down.
that
We
was
had
like wedged between
two
two
posts, like
load bearing posts
perfectly between them.
You could not do a lat pull down and lean back more than 6 inches,
Yes.
or you would slam into a
And-
wooden post.
Nor would that have fit anywhere else in the gym. So it had not fit right there.
Yeah, like if the lat pull down is 4 feet wide, the footprint, the post it was between were 4 feet and 4 inches.
Yes. And then we had the dumbbells. And at first, Leah brought this up to me the other day. Like, our lightest dumbbell was a set of 30s, which is kind
Was
of
it
fun.
really at that
like,
time?
for her, she was like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Because they're all those pro style,
Right.
except under 30.
Under
is
30,
the-
we go to like the Hex dumbbells because we didn't have those at first.
forgot about
we had
that.
like 30s up to 120s at first, And
there's no light lifting around.
then
here.
we had that Cybex white full rack that we kept around for quite a while. And then,
was that until about last year ish?
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And because we kept that one last out of the racks that and then we had the Larry half rack, which we called it the Larry half rack because Larry always.
And actually,
spun it
that
on
was
the
around
rack.
until about the same time
Yeah,
too. Almost.
yeah. Now Big Jake the Snake has that rack.
Those got some miles on them for
Yes.
sure.
Yes,
they were
did.
they were totally worth their money as far as that goes.
Then, if you remember, we eventually got the GHR that we no longer have.
oh yeah, that one was down there, wasn't
sat
it?
in between the two racks.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this place was basically wide enough for 2 racks, and then if the racks weren't being used, the GHR could be used between the racks.
Yeah,
pretty
and the
much.
plate, like loading the plates, the barbell was like writing it. It was a tricky art of loading the plates on the inside of either rack that you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about, and at the time that just seemed like the best thing in the world.
Yeah, and
Like we can have chalk, we have like power bars,
we had a
and not even nice power bars. We just have bars that have knurling on
yeah,
them.
we had one of those 3-tower CD players.
Yes.
Basically, was the sound system.
Yep.
I assume we could plug iPods into it or something though, or what? Did we didn't have CDs.
Oh no, that was it was my CD player down there.
Okay.
I have it in my garage right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was mine. That was down there for a while.
Okay.
Right?
I don't
Pretty sure it was
know.
mine. It was a silver one.
Yeah, it was
'cause had
silver for sure.
Yeah, I had this. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was mine down there.
Okay.
We had that, and then I was gonna say that gym was first time I ever benched 315 down that gym.
Benching 315.
That's where it all
And
happened.
since we had so little equipment, but still like all people that lifted there all lifted all the time. Like we had no people that didn't show up. So when we lifted, like if we were benching, everyone rotated
and
on the bench.
that was we would all go like 5:30. If there was 12 members of the gym, at 5:30, 8 of them would be down there.
Yes, and we'd all be doing this. We'd all do the same thing. So
It was like Monday was deadlift or squat. I forgot what it was now.
Yeah.
Monday was either deadlift or squat. And then, Wednesday we'd be all benching. There'd be like 6 of us all rotating on one bench. And it'd be guys anywhere from their max was 400 plus to their max was 250.
Yeah.
All on the same bench. And you just strip it down between sets. That was really cool.
I'm nostalgic of that because if it was very fun, but also I don't think I would actually it's like that was awesome, but also like,
Yeah. It's one of those things like if everyone's kind of doing the same thing and also time is of no matter, then it's great.
at that point in time, we were much more likely to all do the same thing
Yeah.
though than we are now too.
We were.
And the other thing I'd say is that we didn't care about the equipment though, really. Either.
Oh,
Like, that wasn't a
the
thing
equipment
we
was
cared
awesome.
about.
It was the
Yeah.
first time we had a bench that wasn't a shitty commercial bench that
Right.
was 7 inches wide or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, it was more so just the fact that we had our own place, like that wasn't the YMCA, and it was just a bunch of people we knew doing it together, and it was really fun.
Yeah. And it really felt like everyone was getting stronger every single day.
Yes.
It was so exciting to go down
Yes.
there every night to train.
And then we were only there for 6 months though, so really short period of time.
That was really quick.
Yeah, it seems longer than that we were in that original
It
spot.
sort
to
of
me.
does because
It's just really iconic and a lot like very memorable. Like for 6 months of lifting only, I have a lot of memorable like experiences in there. And it's just so weird the environment when you're packed in that tight. Like if somebody else is deadlifting,
the
even if you're
mirrors
not,
would start to fog, because there was no ventilation in there. It was so small that you get enough people sweating, the mirrors would start to fog in this room. It was insane.
Also, we were in there over the winter months, and there was no
cold.
heat in there.
Yeah, there was no heat. It was so cold. We'd have to have that little tiny
We had a little
space heater on the
pure
floor.
heater. Yeah. And like whoever was there first in the morning would turn it on. So then by the time others of us got there, it wasn't quite so bad. Yeah. So then we moved to location 2.0 in April of 2016. 2.0 was 1,400 square feet, approximately. So a very, significant upgrade, like probably just about 3 times the amount of space we had originally.
And it was built out specifically for us.
Yeah, specifically for what we wanted to do. And we had a lot of I had started to acquire more equipment that never had a home in Gym 1.0 that was just like waiting for us to move into 2.0.
Yes.
So like the cable crossover, a second bench,
Another rack.
rack would be the big thing. Like another deadlift platform.
Maybe some more weights too.
More weights for sure. Like we just never brought that stuff into
There's
the
no
original
room for
gym.
it, yeah.
And so we got it moved into. We had a moving party. Seems for as little as it felt like we had down there, that still seemed like quite the day of moving.
Oh,
didn't
yeah. It felt like we were moving stuff all day.
Yeah.
I remember bringing stuff up and down. Oh, we had the stones too. I remember bringing the skins.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell do we get these stones down in the basement?
Yeah. We had Atlas stones for the first time.
Yeah. And I remember thinking there was like 12 of us, maybe 15 of us that moved that stuff. And it felt like it was an all-day thing.
Yeah.
And that was not that much equipment.
No, relative to what we have now.
Yeah, we were
nothing.
like hauling stuff down the stairs, and while we're doing that, there's 4 guys putting together this cable crossover. There's 3 guys building this rack, 2 guys building this rack. Like it was a production.
It was a production. But we did eventually get everything moved in there. By that time, by the time we moved, we were up to about 25 members at that point in time. We
That is
doubled
also
in size.
shocking that there was 25 people signed up to go to that other place.
Yep. But it was like it was kind of more like the month we moved.
Oh, with the idea that
people were joining because of the new space, basically. I think.
Okay.
So we kind of I think it went from about we'd grown to maybe 18, 19, and then when we moved, it was like 25 immediately.
Right. Yes.
Is what we grew to there.
Sounding familiar now.
Yeah. And obviously just an enormous upgrade. By that point in time, we had 1 or 2 Texas power bars. We shortly thereafter got a deadlift bar, the Oki deadlift bar, accumulated more plates, like I said, more benches and stuff. At this point in time, most of the equipment, outside of a couple nice power bars, Texas power bars we'd gotten, we still didn't really have top of the line equipment.
No, we
necessarily.
had that second deadlift platform with the band pegs built
the
in.
trip hazards, they were wedged against the squat rack.
Yeah,
It was a jigsaw puzzle of equipment in there.
Totally. The homemade reverse hyper was around that time too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty much right away once we got in there, and that had a big footprint, so that took up some serious space. Do you remember? The ab board actually did.
Yeah.
That was at the original gym. Do you remember where that was at the original gym?
Oh, was it outside?
It was outside the door.
Yeah, see, I didn't
so if you
ever-
wanted to use the ab board, you had to go into this dungeon,
dark dungeony hallway thing.
Yeah.
That had no light. And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've actually never used it either place.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of been it's a somewhat
people
popular
like
piece
that a
of
lot.
equipment.
It gets used way more than I would ever guess. I
Yes.
think it's used a lot, and people like it.
Yes.
And there's not really other. I've
I
never
call
seen
it an ab board. That's not the right. It's like an ab ladder.
Yeah,
basically,
I've never
like a
seen it for
decline
sale though.
bench.
I've never seen anyone selling anything like that.
No, it's sturdy too.
It is. Yeah, I think it's used a surprising amount.
Yeah.
Like if you showed up, if we never had one of those and you showed up with one now, I'd be like, what are you doing
What'd
with
you
this
get that
gimmicky
for?
garbage?
Yeah.
And it's unusual for me to be at the gym and not,
And not
see at
see
least
someone
one
use
person
it.
use it.
Yeah, that's true. So we were moved in there of April of 2016. And then we had that original 2.0 set up for several years until May 2019. So really we just continued to slowly accumulate equipment while we were in that spot, that 2.0.
And you say slowly, but it did pretty quickly turn into this room's basically maxed out too.
Yeah,
That
by the
happened
end of
pretty
that,
fast.
it was like, when I say a jigsaw puzzle, it was like it was pretty ridiculous what the arrangements were like.
Like
in
you
there.
could be deadlifting on this platform and someone's squatting and that bar is like a foot from your head while you're deadlifting.
Yeah, and that was still when a lot of us were lifting in the evening. So there would be a crowd of people in there in a lot of nights too. Like there'd be like 10, 12 people lifting in there.
Easy,
Yeah.
yes. Like every rack's being used, every platform, every
Every rack, like to the point where they'd be like that one
People
rack,
rotating.
people in like two, we would both be squatting out of the same, because it had multiple hooks on it,
Yep.
so we'd set up multiple.
Oh yes. People in the rack, people
Yeah.
out of the rack. Yeah.
Yeah,
People
deadlifting behind that
Yes.
rack. Like there'd be like three people
yes,
utilizing
on one
one
single
rack.
platform. Yeah. 3 different lifts going on.
Yeah. So that was fun. Also, like just fond memories of that. I think.
Oh yeah, God, I forget how much we really did just pack it in on those
Yeah,
things.
because it doesn't feel like that now, and we're getting to that
No.
like when
Now it's annoying when there's
like.
there's 4 people squatting today and we all have to use our own racks. Okay.
Yes. So then we moved to current-ish state, I would call version 3.0, May of 2019. Essentially, we didn't have to move necessarily. What they did was we're in a giant basement. They built out more space for us. There's kind of a wall. Well, it was the existing north wall that they just added a doorway and gave us more than double what our existing space was. So now we're up to like 3,500 square feet, something like that. The back room,
As we call it.
the powerlifting room, or the rack and deadlift and bench room, the heavyweight room is what got added in. So we did have to move a lot of that stuff. We had to take racks apart and get them through the doorway and move them into that new space. And
And there was one rack specifically that is
God, I'm so glad we sold that rack.
God.
Yeah. That rack was a nightmare. We,
just over engineered in all the
yes.
worst ways.
And just like so many bolts and like weird attachment points and just not.
and the number of things that have to be lined up
Right.
perfectly at the same time.
Yeah.
is-
It's not built like what racks are made like
No.
now.
no, it weighed as much as 5 racks do now.
Yeah. And like this moving to this additional space, it was like mind blowing, like the amount of space we had at that point then, where it's just like, oh my God, like it's
Sort of
like
feel like
this
there's
is
no way this could ever fill up.
Right. And since then, it's just been like, especially over the last couple of years, the steady upgrade of equipment. Because even when in May of 2019, when we moved there, it still didn't feel like we had state of the art equipment.
No. Well, but
we started to get
no,
Elite F. We bought actually in 1.0, we bought our first Elite FTS competition bench.
And then after you have one of those, you're like, well, we have one of these. What could you ever need more of?
Right.
And then we have 2 more that are.
Yeah, we got that. And then we got a Ghost, we got the Ghost combo rack. We got 2 Rogue 6-post monster rack, a Rogue half rack. Then we've gotten, thousands of pounds of strength co plates. We got the Rogue calibrated plates, barbells. We have like
Everyone.
like in every specialty bar that exists and stuff like that. We just grown the equipment so much that even as of late, it's just been more of a replacing of things where we replace the reverse hyper with a good one, replace the glute ham raise with a good one. We've significantly upgraded our cardio equipment, honestly, where we go to a assault bike, a Concept 2 rower, a True Form runner, which is funny to think now, like in comparison to the original gym.
Oh my
if you're
God.
like
Those things
you're gonna-
alone would take up half of
you're
the
gonna be
original
like,
gym. You're like, why are these in here?
if you would have said, yeah, you're going to have $10,000 worth of cardio equipment, or, like approximately maybe 5 to
that doesn't
10.
make any
You'd be like,
sense
why?
financially.
Yeah. And that's where we're at now. Like just recently we were upgrading the benches, like in our dumbbell rack to got that like new Rogue flat bench and the Stray Dog Strength adjustable.
Yeah, we haven't
benches.
talked about those yet.
No, we got the Stray Dog Strength Alpha adjustable bench. Got that set up. It looks really sweet. It's
And
got
we
the
had
embroidered
them on the
Massenomics
podcast
logo.
a long time ago.
Yeah, I ordered a second one of those. That's on the way. And then just this last week, we got the Rogue flat bench to replace that. So
And that's beefy.
it's very beefy.
Is that considered? Is there, if you're getting just a flat bench to move around, is that considered top of the line?
I think it is up there. I don't know what you've seen it now. I don't what you couldn't do much to.
Well, that's why I'm curious. If,
There's no moving parts, so
Yeah.
it kind of is what it is. But
that's why I was curious if someone's like, well, there is Rep has a better one that does this and this.
I don't know. It's
I have a hard time believing what that would consist
no, it's a
of.
very
though.
solid piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It's a very well made piece of equipment. And some more facts, though. I missed some stuff. We are at an all-time high of members now, right at about 60 members, which is the most we've ever had. We don't advertise that. We're not like actively searching out to get more members.
Yeah.
But
We were talking before the show, like,
Yeah.
I think if we tried and said like, okay, yep, we got to get members, I think we could have over 100 members pretty easily.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just
Especially
the fact
now
that
with our setup and the equipment and the room and
it's pretty
just-
impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it would not take that much effort to make a lot more people aware of the gym, or people that are aware to like let them know that anyone really is welcome. I think a lot of people still think that there's some weird invite system or you have to be
Yes.
doing certain things to be down there. But just a little effort and a lot more people would be in, but that's not really the goal of it right now.
Exactly. We easily have over $50,000 worth of equipment. When I say easily, that's probably very, very easily.
Oh yeah, that number seems way too low to me.
I keep. I do have a list, but I have a lot of those things recorded at prices that aren't even probably realistic because they're so low. Like some of the weights are listed at like 25 cents a pound, like because I got just some crazy deals on some stuff at the time, and even the new stuff I usually listed at lower prices. It's more like a worst case scenario. What could
Had to liquidate
yeah,
this,
right.
what you should expect, yeah.
So we have, $50,000 to $100,000 worth of equipment, I think, pretty easily. And like almost all of that too has been bootstrapped equipment that the gym has purchased through gym profits, which that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We have,
Very cool to not have a gym that's like making someone broke to exist.
Right. I'll ask you if you have a guess. Do you have any guess of how many pounds of weights we have in the gym?
Is this counting dumbbells
I'll
too?
count dumbbells.
So dumbbells and
Plates. Dumbbells and plates. It'd
it'd
be hard to. I'm curious if you
really-
can get in the leg of the right.
I really
ballpark.
don't know.
I don't know how you start to estimate that. It'd be tough.
I'm not even sure because I know you've bought in a few sets of strength co, and I've never even like you've told
Start to
me.
add
I've
up
never
the
actually
math,
really
yeah.
even registered in my brain what you said, how many pounds you bought at a time. I want to say we have like 2,000 pounds of just strength co plates, don't we?
Yeah,
Or is
we
it not
probably
quite
have
that
more
much?
than that.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
Well, if you said more,
Maybe that's about what we have a strength coach.
about 2,000.
Yeah, it might be in that ballpark.
And that feels like that's getting to be close to half of the plates. Maybe that's more than half the plates now. But then we got the calibrated plates too. God, I forgot about those
plates too.
And I don't know how big
And
that set is.
that rack of just the old standard plates,
Right.
and on the
and
front side of the gym,
Yeah,
all the ones on the
those
hip
like
sled and
100-pound plates.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is it around 5,000 ish?
it is 11,906 pounds.
11,000?
Yeah,
I should have actually thought about the dumbbells too.
yeah, the
after we
dumbbells
said
because
that.
we have up to
But still,
150.
we don't have 5,000
Yeah.
pounds of dumbbells either.
Yeah.
Wow, 11,000 pounds of weight.
Yeah,
Really?
11,906.
Wow.
That is all plates and dumbbells.
That's a lot.
How many pairs of 45-pound plates do you think we have? This kind of surprised me. And this is really pairs of 45s.
Okay, each squat rack has 6 on it.
Sets, yeah.
6 sets, yeah. That is 6. Then we got those kind of bumpery. There's just so many that I don't think about.
See, you
I
weren't thinking
forgot about
There's
those,
several
too.
100-pound. There could be 1,000 pounds of bumpers sitting on the ground. Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have 80 sets of 45s?
We have 45 pairs of
45
45s.
pairs. Okay.
So we have 90 45s.
90 45s. Okay.
We have 45 pairs of 45s.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, God, that seems like a lot. Like, why would you need that?
I guess,
but
yeah.
They just kind of...
And like the kilo plates don't count in there either, though, because those would be 55s. And then we do have some hundreds and some other 55-pound plates, actually.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And one last note I had in particular, the party cast was born from the first gym party. Without the first gym party, there would be no party cast. Mm-hmm. And the gym parties are a thing of themselves. You know, we had the first 3 consecutive years were pretty significant parties. More recently, last year, we brought it back. For the first time in a while. I wouldn't say it's the same as like those first two parties.
Those first ones.
It was fun, but it's
those
just
first
different.
ones you were going to like.
Yeah, it was a party.
Drink like you were never going to drink again.
Yeah,
like you were going to war. And
especially
this was
like the first two, because that second one we had in that downtown. Well, they're both in downtown.
The very first one we had in that depot building.
The first one was like a beer pong.
I remember you telling me the next day because it was kitty corner from the zoo.
Yeah,
it was across the street from the zoo. So that
top
felt like
shelf
the best thing in the world. Like, oh yeah, the zoo's across the street. So when we're done raging here, then we can go to the zoo. It just works out perfect. And I remember you saying the next day that you walked in and you're like, it just smelled like beer had been in this place for weeks on end. Like there's just beer
really bad.
all over the floor everywhere.
Like somebody just won the World Series and was just spraying beer everywhere.
Because I think you said you had to mop all the floors and everything, didn't you?
Yeah, because it's basically the entire floor was sticky.
Yeah. Yeah. And what were we doing? Probably playing like tippy cup and beer
I know
pong.
we were doing that stuff.
And I know we had hammer slogging.
Hammer slogging because it was in that little room. And then we had the podcast room, where everyone was podcasting.
Yeah, it was probably tippy cup is what really got things going, I would guess, as far as spilling.
That was a fun party, though.
That was. Oh, yeah. Everyone drank very hard that night.
Not really replicable.
No, it's very hard to do once people start having kids and
know.
obligations in life.
I know, because everyone's like, I better just go home.
That's a way easier party to accomplish when people are in their 20s.
When you're 28, it's a lot easier to do that.
It is. Yeah, your life obligations are just so much less.
Yeah. A lot of fun, though, the gym parties. The
Yeah.
last one this last year was even fine.
It was still,
It's
yes.
just not-
Yeah, it was still, we got to watch Caden drink like 20.
Yeah,
like actually 20 sweet teas.
Yeah, or what are those called? Twisted teas.
Twisted teas, yeah. I did get kind of drunk at that one. Not too bad.
I did
get pretty drunk, actually.
But not wild.
No. Because by the end, there was like 6 of us sitting there.
Right.
We ate a lot of pizza, though.
We did eat a lot of pizza. And maybe switch that to wings in the future.
Ooh.
The food at the gym parties is a thing of itself also, too.
That's where the macaroni.
Yeah, and the catered Arby's. Little known secret. Catered Arby's.
About that.
Yeah.
Forgot you could get catered Arby's. Yep. Didn't know about it then.
Pro tip.
Didn't know about it then.
Haven't
And
used
forgot
it
about it
since.
until right now.
Yeah.
Catered Arby's.
Yeah. Not bad. Catered Arby's.
Works great. It's just a bunch of meat. You know?
Yeah. They have the meats.
You got the meats. You build your sandwich to your level of meat liking, and you're good to go. All of that talk of wings this past week made me want to get wings too. And it was Friday night, and Dad was cooking because Mom left the house. So I ordered takeout wings, and
where did you go from?
I went B-dubs.
Okay.
Just because it seemed like the easiest
Safe
takeout thing
bet.
because I had the kids with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to take them into a bar to go get the wings.
Right.
And I know B-dubs has the easy door you just run up to and get them. But that is on the exact opposite town of town from where I live. So by the time I get there and get the wings back, it's 15 minutes.
They're cold.
And they're kind of cold. And then our little baby girl's having a fit. So now it's like another 20 minutes by the time I get her calmed down.
So they're really cold.
I'm eating these wings that are like 4. And at that point, I didn't even want to throw them in them. I'm just like, I'm eating them.
Yeah.
And so I'm eating like wings that are 45 minutes old. So it was less than ideal.
Less than perfect.
Less than perfect. They were wings. Wings are still good. But in their order thing online, wings and flats. You can order flats only if you want. Yes, for a premium. But the word flats is used.
Can you
explicitly.
order drummies only for a premium?
Yes, you can do both. You can order. It's for a premium.
I don't know why someone would order drummies only though.
I like the mixture. I don't like one enough over the other to only do one.
I definitely like flats better. That being said, I think I like the mixture. I like the idea. I like flats better, But if I had all flats, I don't know if I'd like it as well.
I think it's
what to me I would like is either a 25 to 33% amount of drummies. So about 2/3 flats would be where I can eat 2 flats then a drummie. So when you're eating them, do you pick which one you're grabbing, or do you grab what's ever there? Like if you just grab a because I never eat all of one. I always
That's my thing with wings is that always there's very few foods where I think this, but wings is one of them where I want a constant variety going.
Yeah,
variety in flavors, variety in dipping and no dipping, variety in the drummies versus the flats. Yes, that wings. I'm constantly moving around on those.
Yeah. So I had ribs, a rack of ribs.
Okay. I got one more thing I have to add. No, you talk about your ribs. This just reminded me of something I wanted to ask you this though. So yeah.
Okay. Had a rack of ribs from Maverick. So, you know, restaurant, you've probably done work for Maverick.
Done a lot of work for them.
Yeah. And pretty good food.
Yes. Yep.
And I was eating I really like ribs. And as I was eating the ribs, they were very good. And I was just thinking, I think I like something about just like eating meat off of the bone.
yeah.
Like it's satisfying to me to like
all right.
pick the meat
okay,
off
Liver
of the bone.
King over there. Slow it
right,
down.
Right. And that's what I wonder. I'm like, I wonder if that's like that it is like
just
like,
more satisfying on a primal level.
I like the handle that is the bone.
Yeah, the built-in handles right there. You don't gotta fancy it up with a fork and a knife.
No. It's like I love the handle that is the bone, and you just something satisfying about like cleaning the bone.
Yep, and you say this one's done. On to the next one, and then you get done. You're like, look what I did here.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, it does give you that sense of accomplishment because there's not many things of food where you get done and you have something to show for it. A lot of times you finish your food, what you have to show is nothing. You know
exactly.
Or the wings by nature, when you get done, you have a pile of garbage.
Like I ate that animal. Here's the bones that are left.
Yeah, I can see the logic in that. That makes sense to me.
I bet that's a thing. You know, that's a thing.
So you didn't get their Mavericks wings though, huh?
No,
you got to order those.
Though, or?
Well, so they have wings. Like you can order their flavors, but then they also have. On the menu, there's another item called Mavericks Wings, and those are like their, I wouldn't say honey hot, but they do have that sweetness in them.
Okay.
They are very, very good.
Okay.
I like those a lot. I would recommend those ones.
All right. That's good to know.
If you get them on the list. Okay, there's a slight deviation from wings at a certain restaurant in town, and I thought I would for sure have encountered this somewhere else, and I never have. And that is at Schwanny's.
Okay. I don't go to Schwanny's very much.
They have the best patty melt in town.
Okay.
I'm not even that much of a patty melt guy. But that thing is so damn good. I have to get it. But I
think patty melts are good.
They have pig wings.
So what is it?
It's almost just like little ribs.
Okay.
But then they're cooked like wings, like they're in wing sauce.
Okay.
And the first time I saw that was a few years ago, and I thought, oh, this will be at every restaurant everywhere.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it anywhere else.
Huh.
And it's pretty good. If you like wings, I would for sure recommend you got to get it sometime because those are.
I'd be interested in trying that.
And they have flavors like you pick. You know, you want buffalo barbecue, whatever the hell else they got. Can't remember now.
And I like pork.
Yeah, and I'm not even. I would pick wings over pork almost any day.
Yeah,
but these are still good. Like they're tender. It's juicy. It's cooked nice. The flavor's good. My wife loves wings, and she also actually. It's funny. I was telling her how we've been talking about wings in the podcast. She's like, "Well, yeah, like." Did you tell Tanner wings are one of my favorite foods too? And they are. Like
yeah.
But she loves the pig wings there. She thinks they're great. So,
all right.
I can just give you a full list of the wing rundown in town here. Double dipped at the circus, pig wing at Schwanny's, Mavericks wings at.
What
Mavericks.
do you think of like Pizza Hut wings?
It's been a very long time since I've had Pizza Hut wings. I've had more recently.
Almost all the pizza places have some wings.
I was to say the one I've had more recently, but it would be Domino's wings.
How are those?
I don't think they do. I don't think they have bone in, do they?
Oh,
I think it's just
not.
nuggets, basically, which
sauce.
It's kind of like you're just eating nuggets doused in sauce.
They're still good.
They still are good because the sauce is good.
Yeah, right.
They do have the thing where they like burn the cheese onto it, and it's kind of good too. But I guess for being like $6, they're not bad. I'm not that much of an elitist about wings that I got to say that they suck, but I think they're fine if you do their whatever the hell their deal is now. If it's $7.77, it used to be like $5, like 3 for $5.
3 for $5.
I think is it up to $7 now? Whatever it is, but I think it's fine to throw a wing in there once in a while. You know, mix up the pizza variety with some wings.
I used to order Domino's 3 for $5 when you would when you would pick up the We had in our dorm room, we had a landline dorm phone, and we would call Domino's from
Was it actually in the room, or did you have like in a community?
No, we had a landline dorm phone.
Like each room?
Yeah.
Or, oh, really?
Yeah, there was a jack in each room.
Really?
So each room had a number. Like a lot of people didn't
Use
bring
it.
a phone, but I always thought it was novel that I'm like, hey, let's have a phone in here.
Yeah.
So we had a cordless, cordless landline
Really funny
phone.
to think about now.
And we would call in down. I don't, like it was still seem more normal to pick up a landline phone and call than it would to, even though we had cell phones then.
Yeah,
it was just
that
like,
still was a little too early to do the online ordering.
Right,
thing. I thought
right. Well, no, but even just like it felt
to
normal to
call,
call,
yes.
use the landline phone
Yeah.
to call versus just like whipping out your cell phone that you of course have in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Because at a point in time you didn't necessarily like your cell phone wasn't
wasn't the
like
go-to.
a
That
physical attachment of your body where
Mhm.
it's like just never farther than this away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of something that was sort of in the same region as you.
Right. And it's
occasionally.
like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone was calling me, it would ring. Otherwise, I don't need to hold it.
Yep. Yeah. What the hell do I need this thing on? What
Yeah.
am I going to do with it? I'm not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the gym. 7 years at the gym, and wings,
and wings. I'm not
And-
really sure how we got there.
and wings again.
Jim, good memories.
Yep. Let's see.
A lot of big lifts over the years too.
Yeah.
Even
Lot of big
people
memorable
popping into
lifts.
the gym to do big lifts.
Yeah. A lot of people popping in to do big lifts from all over the country, really, too.
Uh-huh.
The number of visitors that we've had in over the days has been fun. All kinds of memorable ones. I wouldn't even know where to start and end on shouting them out, but particularly memorable one, Jacked and Homeless making his trip there and getting a bench workout with us, of course.
Yep.
Chad Wesley Smith as of late. That was no
was a
doubt
good
that
one,
was
too.
fun. But then just
Just a lot of random people that were
Yeah.
either in town for the weekend, in town for a business trip, or even in town for like a work assignment where they were here for a few
Yep.
months. Like that's not uncommon at all.
the number of people that come on something like that and come for a day or a week or whatever and go, wow,
Like,
I
why
did
is this
not-
here?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would have never guessed this was here. Like, I did not know that something like this would exist in Aberdeen. I'm like, yeah, it's the hidden gem of Western Northeast South Dakota. Is
Actually, almost South Dakota even.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And the other number that's funny to think about. So we said, about 60 active members.
Oh,
The number of all-time members.
it's over 150. Can you imagine that?
So crazy.
There's a lot of names on the list that you would say, I do not have any idea who that is.
Never met that person. Never seen them. Never knew.
There's
anything
people
about
that I signed each one of these people up, and if I look at the list and look at their name, I will be like, I cannot remember who that was.
them. And the huge majority of those people don't live here. That's why they're
Right,
Not
and
members.
that's why we don't know
that's
them,
the
because they move-
primary reason.
Yeah.
people leave. It's pretty rare for people to sign up for the gym and then quit. If they quit, it's because they just quit going to a
lift.
gym completely.
And even then, to be fair, most of them maintain their membership for way longer than they should. When they,
But it's almost unheard of for someone to join the gym,
yeah,
quit, and then go to a different gym. Like, I'm not sure that's happened to maybe more than a
no,
couple
there's a lot
people.
of college. There's probably 40 college kids that have joined and moved away because they're not going here.
And then every summer between construction
Yeah.
and the railroad, there's
Yep.
another swing of 10 to 15 guys almost that.
But it's crazy. I'll look at the list and I'll be like, I do not know. I could not for the life of me tell you who that was.
Yeah.
I'm like, at one point in time, I met them, signed them up for the gym,
Talked to
got there,
them.
yeah, and I'm like, I do not have a clue who that was. But I guess it's like what they say in the gym business. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you can't remember.
It's who you forget.
All right, this week, I also wanted to, speaking of PRs in the gym, that reminded me about Juggernaut AI. A lot of PRs in the gym been going down lately with a lot of people using Juggernaut AI. Another gym member just joined up for Juggernaut AI just the other week that I saw. I'm like, people are loving the
Who is that
Juggernaut.
again?
Is Big Tyler from the gym. She's been going and she started using
Oh, she
Juggernaut.
did? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
she started using Juggernaut AI. And it's just hard not to with all the progress if you watch people make within the walls of that gym.
No kidding.
You start seeing it and you're like, I want to know a little of that secret
Yeah,
sauce.
come on, spread the love over
Yeah,
here.
let me get a little of that Juggernaut
Give me
AI.
a little bit of that progress.
And I say, yeah, it's real easy to sign up. All you got to do is go to juggernautai.app. Make sure you go to the web browser on your phone. I tell them, don't go to the app store. Make sure to go to the web browser of juggernautai.app. Reason you want to do that, when you sign up there, use discount code Massenomics. we get a little kickback for it, and you save some money in the process too. You save 10% for the lifetime of your membership. Once you use that discount code Massenomics, monthly price is down to about $30 a month.
And it lets Chad know that we sent you,
Exactly.
which is almost more valuable than the money part of it.
I prefer that much over the money part. Just kidding. I like the money part the best. But $30 a month is a steal.
It is.
It really is a steal.
Yep.
We talk about Juggernaut AI offline off the podcast quite a bit, and we talk about its value and its worth and what it does for people that otherwise aren't going to pay for anyone to coach them, or even for some people that are now maybe paying to people to coach them, that this could probably be better suited for them at a fraction of the price.
There is no piece of equipment that would help you. Assuming you have a squat rack and a bench, barbells and weights, assuming you have that, there is no piece of equipment that would help you more than this app would.
Yes, especially if you're going
that's not debatable.
You're
even.
floating in the wind on your programming and just rudderless. Here's your rudder.
It would be unless you really got your programming down, it would be the best investment you could make for your time in the gym.
Absolutely. So check it out at juggernautai.app. Use discount code Massenomics. Save 10%.
And last but not least, this episode is brought to you by Bearfoot Shoes.
Grr, baby. Very grr.
Bearfoot Shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to, which is really bare and strong-like. That's how they're supposed to move. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. And Tanner and I are both well on our way to that 1,000 pounds for reps thing. We're
One brick at a time, right?
still working on it. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. Tanner and I, we rock them basically every day in the gym.
We were both wearing them today, weren't we?
And I've said it before, I'll say it again. They just keep getting better with age.
That's right. Like a fine wine, those Barefoot Shoes. And what'd you say their discount is?
Oh, yeah. And, geez. Oh,
Well, you might have said it. I just don't
I'm
even-
slipping
Yeah.
over here. This make sure to use code Massenomics and save 10% off your next order of Barefoot Shoes.
Excellent. Barefoot Shoes. Grr, baby. Very grr. Okay. Do we have anything else that we need to hit on this week? We've got other things on our list. Just checking a few things off here. I did want to mention a few podcast reviews.
Yeah, do that.
We're up over 450. We want to hit 500 5-star reviews. So go on to Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review. We'll eventually, years later, read it on the podcast. So if you listen for a really long time, years later, you'd be like, I think that was mine. I can barely remember what I wrote, but I think that might have been me.
Username sounds like something I would have left.
Yeah. Powerbelly69 said, ugh. Only complaint is I don't get my druthers on where to leave a 5-star, how to leave a 5-star, and how to use my 5-star. Had to come all the way over here from Spotify. 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, now actually you can leave us a rating on Spotify. Hit us the 5-star number there. Then come over to Apple Podcasts, leave us the rating and review. This one's from Corn-Fed Highlander. We know him. That's Big Eddie.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. He says, someplace flat, a place where the beer logos look like lifting apparel, where non-discretionary income instinctively flock like the structured annuities of J.G. Wentworth. Talking about a little place called Massenomics.
Nice.
Yep. Next one just says, yeah, buddy. No, can you bleep that out?
Oh, yeah.
Beep. Yeah. Thanks. This last one is from Lift Shorts Forever. I love learning. Most educational strength podcast I've ever listened to. I've always wanted to know how to get strong, stay strong, and use my strength. I've also learned more than I wanted to know about spicy water and air. I owe my life to Tanner and Tommy. I will not complain if there is more Buffalo merch in the future. Wink, wink. Well, there hasn't really been more Buffalo merch yet. But
Buffalo wings,
yeah,
maybe.
we've been really talking about Buffalo wings a lot, so maybe you're into that. So thank you. Please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll read it someday. And if we hit, you know what happens when we hit 500, right?
That goes without saying.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be said, right?
It does not need to be said.
Well, in that case, we won't say it. Should we, one more time, ask everyone to check out our new merchandise that we dropped this week? We've got the Lift hoodie coat that I'm wearing, the Massenomics varsity crew neck black, the Huge Life brought back from the crypt, the Weight is a Number, Heavy is a Feeling tee, brand new tee. Really excited about that one. The Lift jorts are completely restocked in sizes small through 4X now. And what do you got there?
A little nose freshener Dakota Breeze ammonia.
All right. Limited, only 100 ever made. Travis from Obsidian shattered the mold into 1 million pieces once he finished that 100th one, and it can never be made again.
Never, never, ever.
Yes. Joke's on you guys. We're going to number everyone 69 out of one, and then everyone's going to think that they got like,
everyone keeps
that would be a
posting
funny
the photo.
idea.
That would be good. Yeah.
Tempted to do that.
That would be really funny.
Do limited
Might-
edition
might
run
be
of everything and
something
number every one of them 69.
Well, yeah, and then you do a number underneath it. Then it's,
Yeah,
this is number
the real
one
number.
of the single.
Yeah, 69.1, 69.2, 69.3.
Up to 0.100.
Yeah, 69.100.
Yeah. But then someone wants 69.69.
I know, that's
so
it's always something.
There's a
isn't
problem
it?
again.
Yeah. So buy one of everything. Please support us if you've been thinking about it. Get someone a Christmas gift. Get yourself something. We'd love to sell you some merchandise this week.
Yeah, please buy something.
Yeah, buy something. Humor us, for Christ's sake.
Those shelves are full. We need to empty them a little bit.
The shelves are beyond full. The basement is full right now.
Give Tanner his basement back. Buy your stuff.
Like the boxes are just getting deeper and deeper out in the room. I want the boxes to get closer to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like reduce.
Let Tanner take back his basement. He
Make
needs
my
it.
basement again. And is that it?
Well, technically, we're missing a segment still.
Oh, we've got that. I'm glad you brought it up. I kind of did a special Massenomics gym themed one since we were talking about.
All right, I like special editions.
And we'll just stop when this is over. When we're done with this, we're just going to go right into
cut it.
Yeah, we're just going to go to hard stop. So this is a special Massenomics gym edition of Overrated to Underrated. So overrated or underrated?
And just to confirm, is riding the line allowed this week or not?
No.
Okay.
Not to be allowed again. So overrated, underrated basement gyms.
Oh,
Somewhat controversial at times.
very underrated.
Yeah.
I am not of the elitist mentality that home gyms can only exist in the garage region. So,
Or
basement
club
gyms.
gyms for that matter.
Or club gyms even. Private gyms of any kind. I'd say, basement underrated.
Okay. Obviously, that's a topic because Massenomics has always been in a basement. Multiple spots, but always a basement.
Always has been.
Yeah. Always was a basement. Overrated or underrated? Central Park, Aberdeen. Aberdeen's Central Park,
Aberdeen Central Park.
which is a real thing.
Well, it's good because I haven't been to New York Central Park,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't have been offering a lot
Wouldn't have
of
anything
firsthand
compare,
experience
yeah.
there. But Aberdeen Central Park, man, okay. So when I think about when I first moved to town, they've really cleaned that park up. Like at first there was like nothing there. Now they got some trees. There's a playground.
This is right outside of the original Massenomics gym, the Central Park.
Yeah, basically touching the original gym because it was across the street from Central High School.
Right.
So Central Park. It is kind of in the middle of town, I guess.
It is
too.
Central. I mean, that's why I think the high school originally was Central High School, but
so the playground is, the slides are too steep for my boy still. He can't. There's
they're
some big
tall
ass slides
slides.
there. Those are big
they
slides.
are tall slides.
I actually don't know if you can go on those slides unless you're at least 5 years old.
Central Park is not for the toddler.
No, not at all.
Even the low slides are pretty intense. That's why I wondered if you've been there much at all, because some of that stuff
We've gone
isn't
there once and we're like, okay, this isn't right for him. And then now that he can go on any slide in town, we go there like, he still can't go on these.
Yeah.
These are crazy. So, okay, I'll say it's overrated.
Okay. For crew's sake.
Yeah, for my boy's sake.
Yeah. Overrated or underrated? Showering at the gym. Wouldn't have to be at our gym, but just like taking a shower.
I like to think of
at
it from the
gym.
Massenomics gym standpoint.
Yeah.
In that case, I live in town already, so I'm going to say it's very overrated. I've heard, I've never experienced it, but I've heard there's not a lot of hot water in there.
It doesn't last long. The hot water tank is very small.
Do you ever shower there?
Oh, I used to. When I started lifting over lunch break, I would shower before I went back until I decided, you know what, this is cutting into my time. I've got like 4 hours of work left. I'll just I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll go back sweaty and then I'll shower when I get home.
Yeah. And you really don't get that sweaty lifting.
Right.
Yeah, showering at the gym, overrated. I'd much rather always shower in the comfort of my own home, right?
Yeah, showering at home is where you have all your amenities right there.
All your stuff's there. You don't have to go through the hassle of packing clean clothes and all that stuff. Like, it's so much better showering at home.
Have been people over the years that do use the shower.
I know. I'm always impressed by them, and I get it. If it's what you got to do, it's what you got to do. But showering at home is always better.
Okay, last one. This one's worth all the marbles. Overrated or underrated? Patisseries.
Well,
could you explain why patisseries is a topic on
there was a patisserie above the gym,
the original gym.
And for people that are saying, "What the hell word are you guys trying to say there?" Like a pastry shop.
I think it's like classically a French pastry shop.
Not surprisingly, I mean, the patisserie, I thought they had good stuff, but not surprisingly, the Aberdeen market couldn't quite support something like that, and it no longer exists.
Yep. Went the way of the dodo bird, the patisserie did.
Patisseries. Wow. They're probably slightly overrated because most people just really want donuts,
Yeah.
Give me something with even more calories, even more sugar, and a tenth the price.
Yeah, I want 12 of these, not one fancy one.
Yeah. Also one of these, or 12 of these cost what one of those does. So,
right.
Patisseries are a touch overrated.
Yeah, do you remember coming in the back? Our door was kind of the back door for the
You
patisserie.
always got that good bakery smell, though, didn't you?
Yep. And I remember a lot of the couple guys that worked there, like the owner or one of them, they'd always be around like smoking a cig outside the back door. And
I don't really remember really running into them. I just remember a lot of times you could come into the gym in that back door and it's like, damn, it smells really good.
Yeah. I respect them because they never really complained about the noise or anything. So they're all right. In my
well,
book
we didn't
for
complain about the smell, so
smells are free. Got to pay for the eats. Is that like a Jimmy John sign in like a Jimmy John's like smells are free?
Smells are free. Yes. Yeah. They have all those quirky little signs on the wall,
Jimmy John's sucks.
You don't like Jimmy John's?
I think it sucks.
Like you would pick Subway over Jimmy John's?
I don't want to. I think Subway sucks too.
Well, but if you have to pick a sub sandwich, if you're on the go and someone's saying, "All right, we're having sub sandwiches," and you got to pick one, I know you're not going to say Jersey Mike's.
Trick question, Quiznos. I would go Quiznos every time.
I know you would.
I mean, if I could find one within 1,000 miles.
So I was going to say, first of all, it's almost a trick answer because they don't exist really.
They're almost a Red Robin at this point.
They actually are almost more of a Red Robin than Red Robin.
Yeah.
And I said you wouldn't say Jersey Mike's. I'm assuming you've never had it.
No.
I've never had it either.
Okay.
Those don't really exist in our area.
Is there anything else of note, like Panera Bread? Is that like a sub sandwich?
I don't count that. It is like a sandwich type thing, but I don't count that as a sub sandwich. Firehouse Subs is one. I've had that like once only.
Do they make
if I can pick a sub sandwich is not on my choice of
me either. That's probably the bigger issue for me.
Yeah, that's not on my
Although
choice
I would
of
take
things
Quiznos.
I'm pretty sure the last time I had Quiznos was when I was a freshman in college. I remember getting it.
Quiznos?
They had it, and I remember thinking it was very good.
Yeah.
Thinking it was expensive at the time.
It was expensive.
I'm not sure if that actually was still expensive.
I think it was more expensive. It was way more expensive than a $5 foot long,
which
is like double the price of
which
that.
has also disappeared too. That doesn't exist anymore. But
do you remember this? This is just coming to me now, and it's a foggy thing. Quiznos had funny advertising where
it was the little goofy rodent things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have we talked about that before?
I think we have actually.
Okay.
I think we have talked about this. Yeah, the weird, crazy rodent things, whatever the hell they were. I don't know what those things were
when
called.
it was like the big beady eyes and like the mouth over it.
Yep. Yeah, that was their.
That apparently didn't pan out for
forever.
them.
Yeah, I'm really curious what happened to Quiznos now.
But I don't. My thing. I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I want a hot. If I'm going to have a sandwich, I want it to be a hot sandwich. And Subway can at least provide me. I can at least get them to toast me a sub.
Yeah, Jimmy John's, you're not getting a hot one, but I do.
The ingredients are terrible at Subway.
Yeah, I do think for the most part the quality is significantly higher at Jimmy John's.
And sorry for people that like Subway, but I think it sucks.
It's. I mean, I would.
How is there still so many? Like, I feel like that was a very like 90s, early 2000s place to eat.
I was watching a YouTube video on this one time. I believe that they will let franchises do almost anything. Like they're very
okay.
We will let a franchise open up across the street from another franchise and let them duke it out. And it's actually been to the point where it's been detrimental to their brand,
right?
Because you get these the brand is in competition with itself too often.
When was the last time you had Subway?
Occasionally when I leave the gym, if I know we don't have groceries at home and I'm in a pinch because it's like 2:30 in the afternoon, occasionally I'll get it on my way home. So
you come back to 6th Avenue and get it?
Yeah, on 6th there, yeah. So, probably had it a couple months ago.
Okay. I feel like the last time I can recall having it is when we were at the Arnold, like what year ago? How many
2019.
Years ago? Yeah.
We got it for breakfast because it was like across the street from where we're staying.
I feel like that's the last time I had it.
Really? Well, okay. I've had it many times since then.
I don't know. I can't. That's not a.
No. Well, actually, I was going to say, no, I remember we had it coming back on the way from the Arnold. That was that same year. I remember getting it.
Well, that's the most likely time I would get Subway is if I'm like in an airport and it's there and the line's not long. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll get it, whatever. You know, I mean, they have stuff like I don't mind that much, but I would just never pick it.
Yeah.
I just don't like a sub sandwich or like, I don't know.
No, I totally get what you're saying. I'd have a very hard decision to make, not like in a favorable way, but if we pulled up somewhere and the two restaurants in front of me were Burger King and Subway, I'd be
don't like Burger King.
No, I'd be really fighting to be like,
my wife and I were just talking about like how in town, she goes, if there was two places I had to like the bottoms of my list,
it is
and
not
you know what,
ran
her
well.
other choice was the bottoms of my list would be Burger King and Pizza Ranch is what she said.
Yeah, I don't ever like once.
Pizza Ranch, you guaranteed to leave feeling so greasy.
I had the buffet, the Pizza Ranch buffet, like 2 months ago, I think.
Okay.
It was the first time I had it.
How greasy did you feel afterwards?
It's the first time I'd had it since before COVID. So like
I don't think I've had it
2019.
since COVID,
It's been like 3 years since I'd had it. And
I used to love it. It was my favorite for one point in time.
When I was in high school, I thought this is as good as it gets. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I spend like $7. I get all this food. Like, what more could you ever want?
Right.
Yeah, of course, it never sits well with me. I was pretty much regretting it within 30 minutes of leaving. Actually, not even 30. Within 15 minutes of leaving there, I'm like, yep, I got to go home. I'm sick. I have to leave.
I'll tell you what, though, their fried chicken is pretty off the chain.
Chicken was pretty good.
I would honestly go to. Yeah.
I think it's the greasy chicken is the problem, though. I think that is
right.
Because pizza can only get
all of it.
so
It's a whole like
pizza can only get so greasy.
Right.
Chicken can get really greasy. I think that's probably the problem. Is the
that
chicken.
Chicken's pretty good though.
It's probably the oil it's cooked.
If I were to go like
that's
today,
what
I would mostly eat the chicken and like the mashed potatoes and corn.
Yeah,
because
you can eat all you can eat chicken. Okay, yeah, I can eat a lot of chicken now.
Like those big,
and the older I've gotten,
fried chicken breasts.
the older I've gotten, the ratio of pizza to chicken has changed. Has like inversely, it used to be like I'd eat one piece of chicken to say I did it, and then like 10 pieces of pizza. Now it's like I want like 3 or 4 pieces of pizza, and I want way more chicken.
As we're talking about it, my hypothesis, I've never thought about it. I think that's like a dad thing. Like the older you get, the more you want the chicken and the less you want the pizza. Because could you recall like if your dad was to talk about going there, would he be like an old man? He'd be like, oh, they got like pizza. Yeah, like oh their chicken's good. I feel like the older you get, maybe you're just more inclined to like the chicken over the pizza.
Maybe it is. And then the cactus bread. I always had to do that. And then they also have the soft serve ice cream machine, and I always got to get a bowl of soft serve ice cream that's way too big.
The regular ass cactus bread is better than anything where they put like
100%.
Those other ones,
those flavored
fruit
ones
on it, I'm like,
I don't want fruit.
Disgusting.
I don't think desserts with fruits in them are good.
Well, it's not even really
outside
fruit.
Of like
it's
apple
like
pie.
a jellied
preservative.
Yeah,
thing
I'd rather have the one that's just like the brown sugar and the icing on it.
I totally agree. Did you notice in case you weren't aware of what the time of the year was, the ads for Nachos Navidad have picked up significantly on TV.
Are they doing the singing? Like,
no, they've kind of classed it up a little bit.
Okay.
They've gotten away from I should say this. They've gone away from everything that makes them unique, and they've doing more of what every other big fast food brand does, where it's just much more generic. And but Nachos Navidad are all over the advertisements right now.
I wonder if there's concern over some of their old stuff that could be viewed as racist in some ways.
I'm sure that they have thought that into consideration. They're already Taco
like
John's.
all of it a little.
Taco John's based out of Wyoming.
Yeah.
That is almost
But
exclusively
the guy
in the upper
talking
Midwest.
that I'm like,
Yeah.
was that guy even really a guy with an like? Was that a
That's actually a
person
funny
of
thing about-
Mexican descent that you're using
Or was
there?
it just an actor pretending to be? That's a great question. I don't even know now.
Like they probably have that buried somewhere if that's the case, because it feels like that was someone doing an accent almost, is the way that accent was.
Yeah, I could see it. I could believe that. I mean, they're on YouTube. I'm sure you can track them down on there.
Yeah.
And they
Catchy as
probably
hell, though.
with the PETA stuff, they're probably trying to distance themselves from Whiplash too.
The
Cowboy Monkey.
Yeah. I miss the Cowboy Monkey though. That's just good. That's just good advertising.
Clean fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've covered all of the seasonal fast food and wing spots.
Any
in the region.
cool beans for the over under performance or?
Oh.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool.
Whoa.
Doubling up.
Dishing out all kinds of servings over there. Oh.
It's Thanksgiving. I'm extra hungry.
Yeah.
I do plan on eating a lot tomorrow, though.
It's D-Day, Day of Days. I like that meme of like white people on Thanksgiving. Yep, it's 2:00. Time for supper.
Yeah.
Like, why do you eat on Thanksgiving? Do you eat at the weirdest times?
I know.
It's not like
it's not noon. It's
yeah,
not
you're
even
not.
You're not even like,
and it's like,
we're eating a little early at 11:30.
No, and it's like perfectly acceptable that you're like, oh, what time are we eating? It's and you're like, they're like, oh, it's 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, normally you'd think, what meal is this? Why are we eating at
fits perfectly into
3:30?
nothing.
Yeah, like isn't that kind of the thing though? Like on Thanksgiving, anytime
I just
goes.
assume, without even asking, I'm just assuming we're eating tomorrow at 2 or 2:30, and I don't know why. That's just what I thought.
Is it just because you kind of just make it one meal? You eat so much.
I think that's what it is. You make it one, and then later
and then you have
on,
like the little bit of leftovers.
yeah. Then later
in the
on, you
microwave.
kind of pick and graze and
Yeah.
get like another piece of pie, and then sort of do a plate of meat with some potatoes again.
My thing is, there's always like so many other things out like before the meal. Like you have to be careful not to eat too much other things, or else then you don't really even get to like fully enjoy the meal.
Thanksgiving is like the one time where I really,
Hog wild.
I'm really like, all the sweets. I like actually will plan on eating sweet things to the point where like I think I kind of feel sick. Like,
Yeah.
I will do, if there's 3 pieces of pie, I will do some of all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then like shortly after that, I'll probably do more of them. And then all of the little weird appetizer dessert things that sit out that are like a dessert, but
Yeah.
like cookies and all
Yeah,
that. Like,
cookie-
I'll just
confectionery
I'll eat
sweets.
like 10 cookies before we have lunch
Yeah.
even. And there's no other time that I'll ever do anything like that. And it's just like, and then you just constantly kind of feel shitty, and it's just from piling all that on.
What I do,
make it okay.
Yeah, in the spirit of it, what I'll do is have a piece of pumpkin pie to wrap up my. I like pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie, when I was a kid, that was my favorite pie.
Yeah.
I've really moved on to pecan pie now. I really like pecan pie a lot now.
Pecan pie, I think it's good too.
It is. But I like pumpkin pie still a lot. I like apple pie. I pretty much like all
What about
pies.
like the lemon meringue pies?
That's actually kind of where I draw the line. As in
You know what
not
I like?
liking it as much.
You know what I think is good? Like a peach or an apple pie. You know,
Apple's really
and then
good.
when they have like the crust on top.
Yeah,
too.
apple's really good. I was never much of a peach guy.
Okay.
Just
What about like those peaches and the peach sauce that you get for a school lunch?
no. I
Like
mean,
that-
I'd eat them. Talk about this with my wife all the time. For some reason, growing up, fruit always kind of grossed me out. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I had friends that would just
Dig into a couple bad bananas and you're scarred for life.
or like you just have like just things that are like not ripe anymore
Yeah.
and kind of rotten and
Like
gross,
things
and it's
get
always
mealy.
sort of grossed me out. I don't know
Yeah.
why. But yeah, peaches kind of fall in that line of things, and like even pears, like when they're good, they can be good, but then like we were talking about that one
Pears
time,
and a pear sauce can be pretty good.
we were talking about the cutie oranges, the little
Yeah.
ones.
When those are good,
And when
those
they're
are
good, they're so
bomb.
good. And then I can have one that's not good. And I'm like, nope,
You're
I'm done
soured
for
on
6
them.
months.
Yeah.
I don't even need. And actually, that was how it was.
That is how those go, though. You get like really good ones for a while, and all of a sudden
And
you're
you
like,
get a
wow,
bag.
that one's disgusting.
Yeah, you get the sack of them, and just the whole sack's bad, or there's like a few in it that are not very good. And you're like, yep, not good. And that happened probably 9 months ago, and I have not had one since.
I've been hitting them pretty hard lately. We've been getting them.
We
They've
get
been
them.
good.
We get them for our boy, and
Oh,
he
they're
likes
so
them.
much better, more right size than a regular.
Oh.
And they taste way better than the regular
they're,
orange.
They're sweeter.
Yeah,
They just taste
yeah.
better. Like then you go back to regular orange, and it's got all that like rind stuff to it.
like way more.
Oh, it's so gross how much of it's on there. Like, why is it? How is they figured out to take the seeds out of a watermelon, but they can't figure out how to like make that
those,
like a little
yeah.
easier to peel and
Yeah.
get rid of all that other shitty stuff on it. So it's just
Yeah,
a good
what-
orange.
I don't want to even after you peel it, there's still a thick layer of stuff
it's like
on
when
the
you
thing.
it's like when you have a steak and every once in a while you get that weird sinewy stuff and you're kind of like, this is gross. Like if every steak was just totally wrapped in that and that was like the battle of getting through that, you wouldn't eat steak.
Like, oh,
but
this isn't worth it.
But that's how oranges are, and people do that. That's I can't handle
That's
it.
why cuties are so much better.
They
I bet
are.
you think the sales of those are like way higher than a regular orange?
Probably, right?
Well, yeah, but that's been like a shift in the last certain number of years. I don't know how long, but that's really GMOs. Am I right?
Sign me up for all of them. That's what
They make
if
way
that's what
better
we get.
tiny oranges.
If we can just make all foods miniature
Yeah.
and way better, sign me up for it.
It's right size things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where do they find you at, Tommy?
You can find me at tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.